who has never seen this. Wait, are we... Oh, nope, it's just us in chat. Never mind. Okay, hopefully nothing else breaks. Oh, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of day it is for you. Good day. Stream is late, technical problems, blah blah blah, intro, and let's get into the game. Oh, and Pepper is with us.
Yeah.
Alright, I've been really itching to see where the story is going to go in this game. I don't know if you've been keeping track of this game at all. But this is an actual mod on Skyrim that's its entire own game itself. Like, I think it's like a 60-hour game.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's free. Okay, so, okay, let's see. What do you think about the Psycho? Blah, blah, okay, no, I just want to continue the story. Is it true? You were right about the cube. It was... Okay.
Very good work.
There we go.
Your reputation...
Yeah, we're supposed to be flying to like a sky city as soon as I give him this junk. Yeah, I found the alloys.
That's them. Good work.
That'll be everything, right?
Yes, he didn't expect it, but you and your order have
That guy has big feet.
assistance indeed.
Yeah,
Give
he
him
really
one
does.
more day and Gertrude will fly through the heavens like a fairy.
Are you serious? Am I gonna have to wait an entire day?
Go to the captain's cabin before you leave. Your Grand
Oh,
Master
thank you for the lemon pepper. Very much appreciated.
and it seems he wants to talk to you.
You know, I know Celia, she still plays Satisfactory on her own. I've been wanting to go back to it. Like, I was waiting for, like, a lot of the updates. So if they got trains in, I might go back. Okay. Yes, he said the ship will be ready to fly.
According to Kurmai, your journey will last 2 days.
I know
I've
that
instructed him to first head for
both
the Nexus
Cranky
Tower.
and Cerelia started playing the new update. So they would be able to help you, and at least if you wanted to do a group thing.
And you will not be traveling from your
That might be fun.
the mercenaries, Sakaresh.
Because I know we could do up to at most 4 in that game.
I expect you to be back at the temple in 1 week with knowledge about the Numinas.
Good, where are the others?
They will be there when the ship leaves. Before you go, however, I suggest you return to Ark to properly equip yourself. Who knows what you will be facing up there?
Grip yourself. Okay, I'm gonna delay this because there is a side story that I'm in the middle of that I needed to wait a couple days for. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that first. Where's my return spell? I know, I think I'm pretty well equipped. I got some legendary armor on me. I didn't cheat to get it entirely. Honest. I found the blueprints legit. How I was able to get to the places to find them, you know, well, we don't need to discuss that. I'm trying to remember where Silly and I left last in our Satisfactory game. I think we're struggling to keep our oil supply going. Like, we just started doing that. Like, our current base is just a mess right now. Let's see. Nope, where's that side? Okay. I'm gonna go home, rest in bed, and then we're gonna meet Uslan. Oh, Pepper, you ever think you're ever going to do YouTube videos again?
You're not from around here, are you?
I never really did YouTube videos in the first place. I just kind of uploaded some of my speed paints, and thank God I was finally able to hide my a couple of the videos that because when I was like 12, actually I might have been a bit younger than that, I made a YouTube video that was just all of my favorite, I guess, memes of the time. And I literally just set it to, I think, Witch Doctor, if I remember correctly. And it's just the most cringiest little thing. And I think it got 100 views altogether, like over the past 7 years, 8 years, however long it's been up. And the thing is for the longest time it would glitch out whenever I tried to set it to private, right? I would never be able to set it to private. And there was one point where Cranky found my YouTube thing because I sent him a playlist. And then I had set it to private, right? And he was like, oh, I can still watch it. I can see it. And I'm like, you can what? Because it was listed as private on my part. But it wasn't publicly adhering that, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
And I remember when I was like, don't look through my videos, I gotta... And then I had to, and then I was like, well, why do you have them public then? And I had to explain that in chat, just like, okay, so... But, never really did YouTube seriously enough, and streamed for a bit, and then my account got lost, and I went, fuck this.
Wait, your streaming account got lost?
Yeah, it was on a app, and it was not, like, that big or anything. I never saved any of my streams. Nothing. Actually, I saved one of them. I have one of them. And it was just art streams where I would talk, I would draw, and if somebody had requests or something,
The game
I would
crashed.
do that.
The game just
I
crashed.
saw that.
Okay. Alright, now we gotta wait like a minute before Steam recognizes it. This is a mod, but it is a mod of a Bethesda game, so it just works.
Mm-hmm.
It just works. No, I think you should go back to your speed painting YouTube. Like, you don't have to take it seriously. I've been trying to convince Celia to go back to it too. Because I know the format she does is the art program she uses.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it really easy to just upload the video because it records all of the brush strokes, like everything she does, and then she can just fast forward that. And all she did was she just uploaded to YouTube, put some royalty-free music up on there, and that's it.
Yeah, mine are pre-recorded too, like through the program. And most of them are only like 2 minutes long or something because it's very, very sped up and it's all done through the program. So I don't have to do shit or stuff.
Yeah, I think you should do. You should keep uploading those.
Because it wouldn't be like the worst thing just to be like, okay, here you go, gift to the throwing this in the void of YouTube. There you go.
Yeah, pop it on, and you could even put your link on the Discord. I would encourage that.
Y'all want to see how I did this? There you go. Goodbye.
No, I mean, I know I like seeing that kind of stuff. Okay, I am not an artist. At least I don't draw for art. So when I see like there's any videos on YouTube, like people like painting graffiti, painting on a canvas, or doing stuff in Photoshop, and when it's sped up, it's like, because I'm looking at it, it's like I don't know how they get to the point that they got to. So I find it fascinating seeing artists go from like a blank canvas to a masterpiece. So like, to us artist plebes that can't do it, it's impressive. And is my Steam going to crash now?
If it does, that's kind of funny.
I think I'm going to need to burn this PC and buy a new one. I'm going to need to wait till I get 200,000 lemons, and I could do that.
Is that going to be the next goal?
Uh,
Fund Coco so then he can stream.
Yeah, new PC to stream. Like, I think I got a strong PC. I guess it's the software that doesn't like me.
Get Coco new software because his old shit is bad. Sad face emoji. Please.
Yeah. Software doesn't like me. Okay, I'm checking to see if it's even playing in the end task. Let's see. Is it playing somewhere in the background? Is that why it's not? Huh. Okay, I'm not seeing it. Okay, all
I
right.
still find it.
There we go. I'm sorry, go on.
I still find it funny how many times I've personally shown up to stream and it's legitimately just me going, "Why is your mic so quiet? Why are you quiet? Why is your mic not working? Why isn't the chat working?" Like, I just show up and I go, I don't like something here.
And the thing is, and I don't know about any of these things until you bring it up.
Yeah, it's really funny too when stuff is going on in chat and I'm just there like, I pop up and I'm just, why are you quiet?
It's like, why didn't
Is he
nobody
quiet
else say
for
this?
everybody else?
Ah.
Yeah. I think my favorite one is the one where I showed up. It was just a random person, and I'm just there like, is he quiet for you? And it's just like, yeah, actually. And I'm just there like, and then you read it, and you're like, am I quiet? And you listen to the playback, and you're, why am I so quiet? Sometimes you just need a blunt person. Just what the fuck?
Yeah, just tell me. Because, okay, I think it's Tidy Labs that makes a lot of the problems. Like, not the problem that we're having right now. Right now, I think that's the OBS problem. But with Tidy Labs, it's, all right. When I was on Twitch, it worked a lot more smoothly on Twitch because OBS is designed to work on Twitch. So,
I'm seeing the game again.
well, yeah, I just got it up.
Yeah.
So when I started doing on DLive, a lot of the features on OBS did not work on DLive.
Yeah.
So Tidy, he's an actual streamer on DLive, and he's like the community guy or whatever. He has a website called Tidy Labs that runs a lot of stuff that we could import into OBS. So OBS connects to that website, finds the settings we set up, and then puts that on DLive. Like that right there, the Neko Dance in Space Marine. I set that up on Tidy Labs. So, but it's not like he's a professional doing this. So if there's something wrong with the website, it happens to everybody on DLive that's using Tidy Labs. So like the thing that was going on with my microphone, what's going on with the, like the audio, my video camera that's not working. Tidy Labs just didn't. Well, something happened on Tidy Labs that broke it. All right, I'm going to talk to this guy. I want to be able to see his face. There we go.
There you are. Very well. Nice place, isn't it?
See,
Well, the
this is also one of the
Neremese are in
reasons
front
that
of
I
our
should
gates.
never be
People
on your
down
streams
here
because
are
it's just
bashing
me
each other's
rambling and being
heads
like, okay,
and the
I have
crowd is
ADD.
cheering them on.
I have zero thought to brain anything. Just ramble through everything. Just talk.
Ironically, that's actually good for a streamer. One of the worst things you could be as a streamer is to be quiet.
Okay, when I used to stream, it would literally be me, like 10 people watching me and me just going, okay, so when I was 10 years old, this is what happened. And rambling about something until somebody talked in chat and I was able to go off that. And then I would ramble off of that. And then I'd be like, okay, Samantha, tell me your life story. How is your day? Is life going okay for you?
Okay, but you kind of missed something there, Pepper. You had 10 people watching you. On average, I
Yeah.
got 1 or 2. So that's kind of like a little humble brag you just did there.
I'm sorry. I got up to like 100 followers and some of them were very fucking loyal.
People like chat and streams are some of the most popular streams that are out there. Like I've seen a few, and if you're talking to your chat and you're actually asking them questions, that's what some of the better streamers do. I remember when I was just jumping on a DLive, just finding random DLivers just to give them a lemon, give them some encouragement. The chat and streamers, the one like I jumped into this one girl's chat, I followed her. Instantly, she just kind of, I mean, she was like talking to like 20 other people on stream. She instantly jumped on that. She was like, "Oh, hey, Choppyreviewer, how's your day? Tell me everything you've been doing up to today." And then she just kind of like started talking to somebody else the moment she just said that. But her saying that actually made me interested to keep watching. So if you're doing that in your streams, that's good. Don't take that as a bad thing because like you have ADD and you can't stop talking. You want to do that. Streaming supports that.
It's true. I now have a webcam too, so I could go off. Just fucking hello.
Or if you don't want to show yourself, there's a lot of avatar programs you can use. Like I've seen a lot of streamers that do like anime avatars that kind of like does face capture and lip capture, so
Yeah.
so you could do that. Wait, what are you linking here? I mean,
I mostly used my camera just to show what I was doing because I didn't do as much digital art as I did back then because I would also have to find a screen capture like program that I could work on my computer if I was doing digital art, or find a good way to angle my webcam if I was doing traditional.
you could ask Amber for tips on that. I remember when I first started watching her stream, it was really it was kind of like a really guerrilla style she was using.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, it's like before she went to college, like she got pretty creative with like the way she would hang her camera up and got a second camera. And it's like I think I don't know what she was hanging it off of, but she had like pointed straight down and at a slight angle so you could perfectly see the canvas. And another camera so you could see her head. And it looked like way more professional than what you see in my streams. And I'm pretty sure all she had was like maybe a spaghetti noodle hanging the camera off of a ceiling fan.
As you do. See, the wonderful thing is that I
don't
have
have a
sloped
problem
ceilings
with it.
because again,
I don't care what people
I live in the
for that
fucking
Be that as it may, I finished reconstructing the Planeswalker.
my brain can't remember the word.
Was expensive and
You live at home.
but the result turned out better than
Attic.
expected.
Attic.
The attic.
Attic.
Well, it's attic.
Yeah.
I pronounce attic because I'm a New Yorker. That's just the way we pronounce words.
See, whenever I say attic, people are just like, "That's not right," and I'm like, "Attic." There we go. I have to really fucking enunciate it just to change my accent. It's also the same because in the Midwest, a lot of people say milk instead of milk,
Milk.
and apparently, it bugs so many people so much. I've been in a Discord, and immediately as soon as I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just had some chocolate milk," people will be like, "Milk?"
I once had a girl scream at me because I said napkins.
Sounds like an absolute raging, a nice person.
I did not get along with her before or after this. But yeah, she was a raging nice person. But she could not
Nice.
stand the fact that I said napkins.
Because I have my own list, right? Like I can't say certain words, and my brain
say
tends to get
much.
ahead of me
Come
when I
along.
talk because of the ADD. So I tend to mispronounce a lot of things as well. So it's just a nice little thing of like, you say one thing about my speech and I will tear you a new one.
Oh no, it's weird. It's like because with my New York accent, which I don't think I have a heavy New York accent, but sometimes it comes through. It varies. Like some people say, "Oh, that's kind of cute that you say things like that," or "How dare you say that word like that?"
Yeah.
Like there's no in between. It's either like they hate it or they love it.
I've never had anybody say like I had an accent at all. A good Midwestern accent where it's just real. But I remember when I was working, I had somebody say, "Oh, I'm sorry that I did that," and I just looked at them and I had a moment of like lag in my brain of like, "Oh, this person's from up north. They say, oh, sorry. Oh dear." And I just
Sword.
had that moment where I'm like, "Ah, you're the one that makes everybody think we say sorry." Oh dear.
Oh yeah, like when I was living in Tennessee, I've heard like the Southern accent like ranges like greatly. Like I've heard like the sweet Southern Belle accent. Like I remember the first time I heard a Southern Belle accent, is that it just kind of threw me for a loop because I was ordering from a McDonald's drive-thru, and I was living in Tennessee for a while, and that was the first time I heard the really soft, like 1800s racist Southern Belle kind of accent. Like she wasn't saying racist things, but like, you know, when you hear that kind of accent, like you that's where my brain went. It's like the 1800s, like her family probably owned slaves at some point.
My daddy owns the plantain.
Yeah, like that, but like a lot even softer. And then when I went inside to pick up the food, she was like a 4 foot nothing, maybe 50-pound girl. It's like, I don't know, like it was just weird because I've never heard anybody in Tennessee sound like that except for that one girl.
If I do join in on Sunday, you know now they're gonna have like a southern accent accent, and it's just gonna. Oh, honey, thank you so much. You're a real doll. I'm gonna call everybody doll.
Oh, you could play Jim Jar.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Jim Jar, he's like the little deep gnome that keeps having like he's the one with the gambling problem, always trying to like make bets with everybody. Like, I dare you to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's also the only rogue in the party. So when and if he dies, they're gonna be really screwed. Yes, you don't have anybody that could do roguish things.
So you want me to be a sketchy little Southern belle that gambles? I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you join us Sunday, he's all yours.
Because my D&D campaign actually got canceled last night, and it was so sad. I mean, I was kind of happy because I was feeling kind of antisocial, but it's also like, aw, D&D.
Oh, who are you playing D&D with?
My friends. Actually, the DM that I've played with. So I have two people that I consider like my best friends, right? Like they're the people I'm closest to with IRL, and one of them has been DMing since he was 8. I think I've mentioned him before because his dad has all of the D&D, and he's met the creator because the creator's from Wisconsin.
Oh, Gary Gygax. Nice.
Yeah. So he has all of the original D&D books. He's been playing since D&D became decently popular enough, right? And my friend's been playing since he was an 8-year-old and DMing since he was about 9. So I trust him, and right now we're in a campaign, like a pirate campaign, and it's really fun, and I'm enjoying it. I am playing my lovely character Himbo, and I've decided every time when he talks, he's gonna have a different accent.
I approve.
And it's really funny because he has a good, happy backstory. Like, a completely good backstory, and the only thing he knows anything about? Medical knowledge. That's the only thing he has going for him. Otherwise, he's an idiot. He is handsome, and he's an idiot.
He's a dumb doctor.
Yeah, like, imagine if it's like, as a doctor, it's like, okay, the most world-renowned, but in any other situation, it's like, why is he talking to a wall?
Well, are you playing 5th edition?
Yeah, we're playing 5th.
Okay.
Or at least that's the baseline for it. There's quite a bit of homebrew there. We're actually playing on World 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
we just started doing that for our campaign.
Yeah, I noticed last week. It's so hey, if I'm gonna have to change my name on fucking Roll 20 if I join you guys.
Why is that?
It's my full real name.
Ah, gotcha. Well, if you like, since you play an NPC character, and if you don't want to like absolutely commit, you could just roleplay the character. Like, you don't have to like you can just jump into the Discord with us and roleplay the character.
It's just going to settings and changing it, so it's not the worst thing. And none of my friends will give a shit if I'm just Pepper, because they've already had to experience that. Because Cranky's officially in like a friend Discord, like a private Discord, that's just like 6 people.
No, it's more than a cube.
I gotcha.
So he now gets to experience everybody always calling me my real name, and then my friends get to experience him only calling me my screen name.
That must get really confusing.
Because in my brain I'm both, so I respond to both.
Well, I meant
And
like
I'm
for
fine with
them,
it.
like for
them.
Imagine the following.
For them,
When you cast a
it's my
fireball,
IRL
this
friends
fireball
having a
is
blink,
coming
blink,
from
blink
another
moment of just,
eventuality,
oh
correct?
yeah, that's you.
Accelerated heat
And
you conjure right into your fingertips.
Cranky knows my real. Of course,
While
he
you're
knows my
doing
fucking real
this,
name.
there's a brief moment in time where
He
the
never
door
calls me
between this eventuality
my
and
real
our
name
world
ever, and I don't
stands
call
ajar.
him his real name. So to him, I am Pepper.
Yeah, I like to think like when you guys finally like meet up, that's all you're ever going to call each other.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be like me
Good.
meeting his brother or
The
something,
problem
or
is
his
that
family,
this
and
rift
me being like,
normally exists
yeah,
for
Cranky.
only a split second.
No.
And this is where the planeswalker comes into play. It maintains the rift.
I wonder if they know he's
Day
called
after
Cranky Pants.
It suits him.
Wait, do your friends know about salted coffee?
So the thing is I jokingly, the only I knew about it IRL was a person I constantly harassed because at one point I sent them one of my drag photos, and I was just like, yeah, this is me in drag because I was working
Yes.
on a cosplay at the time,
I will cast a spell,
and they were
but I
like,
will need to
you
borrow from
look
your strength.
like one of
We'll
those
see why.
dads, like a hot like tennis dad, and I was like, so I'm daddy, and
You're a
then whenever I
DILF.
got in from it, yeah, so whenever I got into drag after that,
No
I
more
always
than
would
any
send them a photo
advanced spell.
that just said,
But I have ambrosia with
"Am
me,
I
so
daddy yet?"
fever shouldn't be a problem.
or something like that.
I was like, Daddy's
And
home.
then yeah, it was always just something like, "Are you ready to call me daddy yet?" It was always just some shit like that. And then my
In a moment.
friends
Once
got
the rift is
to
open,
I sent them
we'll
a
only
message
have a
last time
limited
when I got
amount
in
of
drag,
time,
and I'm like,
so
okay,
3
clearly
things
I
in
need to become a
advance.
thirst
First
trap
of all, according to
as his
Dalmaric,
drag king.
planeswalking is extremely
And
dangerous.
and all I got back was nice, and then you
Well,
could do
you'd
it.
think that an eventuality
Hey, more
recognizes
reasons
your
for you to stream.
regularities after a certain amount of time and corrects
I mean,
them.
Okay.
I mean, connect your drag
Massive
persona
archives
with your
of
ADD,
brain
you'll be
hemorrhage,
unstoppable.
so we'll have very little time
God.
over there.
Get thousands of viewers.
Secondly, the further an eventuality
I
is
see the
located
problem
from our
is I have a
strand, the
decently
less
high pitched
time we
voice
can
for a
stay
woman,
in it.
right? Like it's not the
Realities
it's
in which
about
Vin
average, but
doesn't
see
even
that's the
exist
problem
will
here is that
correct us the moment
it's just
we
gonna be
step
like,
through the rift.
so you're gonna call me daddy, and it's just gonna be, yes, I am a woman.
No, I mean, no, still go with that. Like, go, like, don't pretend. No, yeah, you like, don't make it. Like, don't try to convince anybody that you are a guy. Let them know that you are pepper tea being salted coffee.
Yeah,
I think that'll
I think
draw
it
in a
would be
much
fun
bigger
though.
crowd.
I think it would be fun to have people come into my stream and it's just like, ah, who? Oh, that's it. And I'm like, hello, I'm a drag king. Hello.
No, 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 no. What you do is like, don't say it. Let them keep guessing. Like, just watch the stream, like watch the chat, and just let them be confused, and then like slowly let it dawn on them. I think that
The thing
realization would be
is
way
that
funnier.
drag kings aren't as popular as drag queens. That's part of the problem. It's very fun learning about like LGBT history and stuff, and like even current climates and all of that. And it's so fun just to learn like, oh, that's not good, but also what the? Because
There's
there's a
this.
whole entire history.
Oh yeah, it's like there's even this YouTube channel with this. I'm blanking on the name. Like I don't actually follow them, but I follow
Yeah,
somebody else that always uses clips from them. It's like it's all drag queens, and they have their own YouTube channel show.
yeah.
Uh, what is it? I'm completely blanking on the name. But there's a lot of drag queen shows out there now that I think about it. RuPaul
Oh
still
yeah.
has at least one now. RuPaul used to have a few.
Yeah, there's I know RuPaul's Drag Race is still going, and then there's like 3 split offs from that revolving around RuPaul's Drag Race. And I know a lot of those drag queens have turned into YouTubers, like a lot of them. Um, and like drag queens are fucking popular, but you won't see drag kings as much just because it's God, I'm not explaining the whole entire history. This is not going to be a history lesson, but it's just there's a thing. But God, I I watched a whole entire documentary just around drag kings, and it was like, God, she has massive tits. I don't know how she did this
A lot of
because
tape and
I guess
bandages.
it's yeah. No, you literally
No, no, I mean,
like
yeah.
it's oh God,
It's like
it's
like I've seen women like butcher their like not butcher, but like the things they do to their bodies to change the shape. Um, okay, this wasn't a drag king, but I forget what they're called, but I'm gonna call them like goth because I don't know what else to call her.
yeah.
But you know, she wore like a corset that was so tight, like it crushed her organs and like her ribs were collapsed in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how tight it was. Like I could fit like my hands around her waist, and she would walk
Oh,
around all day like this. And like when she would take it off, like she just can't rip it off. It take her like an hour or so to like slowly
Yeah.
take it off so it could expand. And that's just something she did on the regular.
Tight lacing is fucking insane because okay, another thing I'm learning about recently because I just go through hyperfixations like a bitch, was corsets. And I actually learned minus like tight lacing and all that, they're the same as like back support and they're actually really really useful and normally a cheaper option than like other back supports. Like as long as you have it properly made, you know how to wear them properly and you know like your measurements and you're not tight lacing because tight lacing is when you like push in your organs and ruin your ribs.
Yeah, but like I remember that was a big joke back in the 80s. Um, because like yeah, the corsets great for back problems, but of course if a guy was ever caught with a corset, he'd always be like, "No, no, I have back problems," because back then I guess it was a little bit more taboo for guys to wear
Yeah.
corsets. This other thing, not a corset that I forget what parade this was, but people would wrap around like a cloth, like a thick blanket cloth around their waist, like several layers to keep their back straight for this entire parade while they're carrying things, and like it will be impossible for them to like bend over because of how like stiff it was.
Ooh. Okay, this is unrelated, but something that I just recently
got
found out
it.
was a thing that made
Trying
me
to
go,
counteract
"Oh
the
God,
eventuality
walk,
of
walk,
getting
fashion
bruises
baby,"
probably as
was
helpful as putting a warm compress around
corset
your neck
vest,
after
or
someone has
like,
decapitated you.
and basically they have like the structure of a corset, and the whole entire back is the lacing,
How should I
and
know?
it
One
looks
would have
so
to
nice, and it
experiment to
keeps your
find
back
that out.
perfectly straight, and
And
it's like,
considering what's at stake, I
oh,
think
that's
that's
nice.
a bad idea.
It looks so nice.
Have you ever tried it?
No, because they just recently started coming out with it, and I'm just like, oh God, that looks so nice. It looks so cool. Also, wearing a corset sucks. Like it's great back support and it keeps your back straight, but oh God, I because I had to wear a corset for a class I was in because it was an acting class, and holy moly, learning how to properly sit and everything in a corset is a pain. And it felt
Hmm.
really, really weird on my back because I have so it was just like,
So you said like it felt weird, but was it like just like a painful kind of thing, or just something that you just needed to
it
get used
wasn't
to?
painful. It didn't pinch anything. It wasn't painful. It just weird because my back is not naturally straight. So having myself be put into a situation where my back is constantly straight, it's still not straight, but that's not the point.
Yeah. Do you have a curved spine, or do you
Yeah,
mean you just
I
kind of
have
slouch?
no, I have like a mild scoliosis, like curvy, but not curvy enough to need like adjustment or anything. I should probably work on it before I'm like 30, but also
You
not like immediate problem.
okay? Well, better to work on it sooner than later. I don't have major scoliosis. It's like okay,
Yeah.
like I don't think it's my back. I don't know what you call it, but my hips are actually tilted.
Oh, they're misaligned.
Yeah, it's misaligned because like I've always been an athlete. Well, okay, when I
Yeah.
was young, I used to be an athlete, but I've never been able to touch my toes. I just figured I wasn't flexible, and then I found out that my hips were at a weird angle, and what that does is like my hamstrings are constantly being pulled. It's like they're overextended because the way the hips are. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'll never be able to touch my toes because I would like rip my hamstrings apart because my hips are already stretching out my hamstrings.
See, I can't touch my toes either, and I am insanely flexible. So now I'm like,
I
because
don't know, like
fun fact,
do your hamstrings feel tight? Go
uh,
ahead and check out. Wait.
fuck. Is this something I'm gonna have to look into? Ugh. It would just be another thing to add to the list. Like, okay, I got shitty knees, got a shitty back.
Oh yeah, like
I've got
oh yeah, I got knob knees because I got that from my mother. I don't know where I got the hips from.
see,
You could probably like look in the mirror like when you get it like next time you go to the take a shower or whatever. Look in the mirror, look at the side, and see if your butt sticks out more. Like not because you have like if you got a big butt or anything, but it just kind of sticks out because that's the way your hips are. Then it could be your hips are tilted.
well, We'll see. Because fun fact, so I also learned I cannot do a proper squat. I learned that during physical therapy because my back will not, it will like hinge my back, have my back bowed out before. So when I squat, you will literally get to see me go from, she's not in a correct position to suddenly, oh, she's in a correct position because it's the angle that fucks me up. And it was very funny. Also
Interesting.
felt, like looking back on it, it should have felt awkward, but it wasn't. But it was just my physical therapist, like looking at my back and my ass. Huh. That.
Okay. Is again? Well, I think I know what your therapist was talking about. Like, because it took me a long time to realize like I was doing squats wrong and how to properly do it. That's how I really messed up my knees. Like I've always had knob knees and they're always kind of like bent inward.
Mm-hmm.
But I tore up the tissue of my knees because when I was in junior high school and high school playing football and track and doing heavy weightlifting for field events, I would do squats. I did it the worst way you possibly could. I didn't stick my butt out. It's like I put all the weight on the balls of my
Mm-hmm.
feet, and it's like put all the pressure on my knees. And I did that for
See,
years. Now my knees are wrecked.
see, I can't push my butt out too when I'm like before a certain angle, and you will literally get to see it go pop. And I did this in the mirror at home just to be like, does it really? And I got to see it myself. It's like a sudden shift, and it's kind of funny because and then I was like, I need to see if I can actually do this. So I forced myself, and it actually hurt. And I'm like, okay, so before this moment, the curve in my spine never fucking bothered me. But now I realize I cannot do squats properly, and I'm annoyed.
You know, I'm just trying to imagine it happening, and that's kind of like, did it look like if you're watching a video and then it just skipped a frame?
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It's literally like a frame is missing somewhere in there, and you're like, huh. And now I understand why when I was in like weight training class and all of this other stuff, why the nice older football player was like, you're not doing it correctly. And now I'm like, I now understand. I'm sorry. Because he was like, oh yeah, you're doing it right about halfway through. And now I'm like, I was trying. Thank you, giant 6'4", benching like 300 pounds, Ginger. You were so nice to me.
Well, now you get to pass that knowledge on to the next person.
And then when my friends asked to work out with me, I would be like, this is when I got called a dad. I have been called a mother, a dad, an aunt, and an uncle in like personality of the way that I treat people. And the reason I got called a dad is because I was in my gym workout outfit and I was watching my friends work out and I'm like, hey, you need to do it this way or else you're gonna hurt yourself.
Well,
And
let me put
apparently
it
the
this
way that
way.
I was standing
I'd
and
actually
talking
prefer to
reminded
go
them
through the
of
lift by myself,
one of those dads
but
that are
knowing
helping
you,
their
I
kids
doubt you'd stay
work
behind.
out.
But, and this
Hmm.
is important,
Like stern
That
yet
seems like a
supportive?
big dad.
don't follow me.
Like
Look
just like,
around,
nah,
explore
you're
the
not,
area,
you need
do
to
whatever you feel
go
like
your back
doing,
a bit more
but
and
let
just
me
being like,
carry out
oh,
my
you need
task in
to put
peace.
your arms here and here,
Please.
so then it helps, blah blah. And when you go down, if you don't have a spotter, you need to move the bars up so then it doesn't collapse and you root and fucking crack your ribs or something and you can't breathe.
Good.
And it was just me
Let's
being like,
waste no
okay,
more
you need to
time,
do this
shall
in
we?
the gym, and then being
Here,
like, you're
take
such a
this
dad.
and cast it at my command. Do it from
More reason to stream
Wait.
the Pepper Dad. I'm sorry, salted coffee.
Yeah. Hi, I'm your local
Let's
dad. I'm gonna
begin.
teach you how to work out. See, I can't do this as a woman because then I'm a thought. But as your local dad,
Well, if you're gonna be the salted pepper, like you gotta wear the dad like workout outfit, which is just like
Oh.
sweatpants and like there's like a sweatshirt that already has the sweat stains in on it,
By the name of the sun.
see, I
and with
I have
wait, the sweatshirt, but over the sweatshirt you have a basketball jersey.
okay. I have a bunch of dad like shorts, like those shorts with like 15 pockets that go just above your knee. And I also have one pair of shorts that look exactly like when my dad used to work at a factory.
It actually
And I just want to wear that completely and just be like, okay, I am your. I just want to make fun of my dad now.
Hey, go for it. You know, I'll subscribe. Do it on Twitch. Do it on DLive. If you want people to watch, I guess you just go to Twitch. But if you're gonna do on DLive, well, I got a referral code you can use. No, yeah, go to Twitch. You get viewers there.
In other words, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, but that means I need to re-download Twitch and care again. Because
well, well, you got DLive, I guess. You already have that downloaded.
All of the people I follow on Twitch, I also follow them on YouTube where their archives are, and I just watch their fucking archives. You are the only exception to that, which is why I followed you to DLive.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And don't worry, I'm not going to move to this Mixer. I remember, like, I was thinking about that a long time ago. I don't want the people that do watch me to have to go to Mixer. Oh, thank you for the lemon.
I still remember hearing you in the server, and then you being like, yeah, I have a Twitch, and me being like, I'll follow you on Twitch. Sure, you got a nice voice. Let's go. And that was my thought process. I didn't care about your content or anything. I was like, he's got a good voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what my thought process was when I actually, because okay, when I was in that server, it's like I was trying really hard to just not get to know too many people. Because because I have no idea like who I'm talking to, and I have no idea who I need to be careful around. So I was like, do I want any of them to see my face? Well, like, what's gonna happen when they find out like I'm an old man? You know, and chances are just probably like half that server is filled with old men, and I just didn't know. So yeah, when I heard your voice, I was like, "Whew, okay, this probably isn't an old man. This will be okay."
God, look at your community now. Half of them are survivors from the server.
Oh wait.
Like,
you talking to Nuke?
no.
Are you talking about my server? Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, because Sushi, Cerelia, Cranky, me, like, we're some of your most active crew members, and do you remember where you met us?
Okay, yeah, the active members, yeah, like, more than half of you guys are from that server. For sure. There's a lot of non-active people here, though, and I think, like, yeah, a good chunk of them are also from that server. Let me see.
Because I remember for the longest time that Top Cat was your like top contributor or tap.
No, there's someone. I know who you're talking about. Not Top Cat.
Something Cat.
True Cat.
True Cat. They were your top contributor on DLive for the longest fucking time, and then Kronecker was basically like, "Hello."
Oh, yeah, Kronecker just blew that out of the water. I remember, yeah, Top Cat came in, flirted with me for a bit, and then left my server afterwards.
True Cat just wanted to get some of that cocoa.
It's like Top Cat, yeah, True Cat. Yeah, and then True Cat came into Nuke's server and left as well.
Yeah, basically, what I learned about True Cat in the after process of the server being an asshole, basically he hops in and then leaves as soon as like his attention span is up on the on the topic or whatever. So he
okay, this is just an assumption on my part on True Cat. I think that's mostly right. I think it's when he stops getting attention also. Oh, and there's also a part of him, like, I think he likes being talked down to. I remember those, what's the guy's name? Like Viper or something? I think it was Viper. It's like they used to hang out a lot in voice chat. I know they played. And it was one of those kind of like friendships where like Viper was always like just talking down to him. And like True Cat seemed to like, you know, that's what he likes. He likes it. He doesn't like people talking him up. So when Sushi got a server, like people tried being nice, and then True Cat just kind of became a dick. And I don't like. I think like when people just don't talk down to him, he just becomes a dick, and then he leaves. I think that's what his personality is. And I've known several people like that in real life too. Like you, just the way they are. I think King of the Hill made a joke about that. Not a joke, but they had a character like that. You ever see King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Remember Boomhauer?
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was an episode where he became a salesman with Hank's wife, Peggy. And he was like an incredible salesman. Like he's just super nice and relatable. And Peggy just kept praising him and praising him. And then at some point, he just kind of snapped. And he got really paranoid around Peggy. And she didn't understand what was going on in Boomhauer. And Hank said, like in the military, is like, you know, he only really functioned well in the military because, you know, they broke him down. They gave him orders. And like, they just kind of like treated him like a tool. And that's the only way he was able to function properly. So when she kept praising him, that kind of took him out of his comfort zone. And that's when he snapped. And I think that's where True Cat is kind of is.
Watch, this is when True Cat is watching for the first time in like 10 months.
Really?
Well, if he is watching, then you can confirm True Cat.
What is it?
I wouldn't need to confirm or deny. I had no relationship.
Not mommy. Come over here and I'll tell you.
Hey, that's not fair.
Okay, there's a weird conversation going on in this house.
So, princess?
I think it's like this is a mod, so like voice acting is like very hit and miss.
Okay.
Some of it is really good, others is just kind of like bad or cringy.
It is I, father.
Monster is hungry again.
Please do not kill me.
You too.
Oh.
Do you want to know another secret? The little princess is going past her bedtime.
I also heard that True Cat went back to the anime server and they got kicked out again.
I don't know. I haven't been able to join since I was like IP banned because Blub hated me.
Oh no, like I never bothered going back.
Because okay, basically it was Caramel, me, and Cranky in a chat, and I think maybe Tree,
You've earned it.
and we were basically like, oh, how is that server doing? Because we were just really curious.
Don't worry, I will.
Because we were just telling stories about it,
I love you.
and that's when I found out I was IP banned. Like this was like a month ago, and Caramel and Tree were able to get back in, and even Cranky was able to. And it's just basically dead, and the only thing there is the content, we'll say. And dear oh me oh my, it was apparently like I heard some things from Nuke, and Rob has gone down the like drain. He's devolving.
I've heard, okay, when I was on Nuke server, like, well, I'm still there, but like somebody came back, and I guess Blub went into another like banhammer wave, and
Yeah.
apparently he was going on a rant, like making new rules, like if you tease, you have to put out or something. And then he started doing constantly like doing like a pings to everybody in the server, saying like if you don't ping back, you're gay.
Yeah, like he had
Yep.
he fucking his insanity just his marbles are lost. Because
Like I know when he found out about when we were in the, I forget whose server it was, but yeah, when Cat was banned, somebody else made a server, and then like I joined the server, like because I had a whole bunch of friends that went there, so I was like, yeah, I'll hop in. Blub found out about that server. He sent somebody, I forget the name of the person, but he sent somebody from his server there. It's like, oh, so who hates Blub? And then everybody just kind of like jumped in on hating on Blub. And then that guy left the server. Blub banned everybody from that server.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the server shut down. I forget because that person also I think started sending out invites to other servers from that server, and that's not allowed in TOS.
Yeah.
So it's just conspiracy theory. Like I think that's how Blob gets servers shut down. He has his friend go in there and start sending out invites. But yeah, I never bothered going back like after that happened.
You just had to do it, didn't you?
So I didn't know Caramel went to that server. That's interesting.
It was mostly just to see what was up because we were just telling stories. Like I was telling my personal experience with Blub, because Blub hated me because I didn't interact with him, and a lot of the active people knew who I was, and I was only active in voice chat. So I was like a level 5 or whatever because of the whole entire leveling system,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew people who were like level 100 plus, and it was really frustrating to him.
Did you flirt with anybody though? Because I know like if somebody flirted with somebody that Blub liked, he would eventually get them banned.
See, the thing is the only person I really flirted with was Cranky, and Cranky didn't notice.
Oh,
That and now.
yeah. Okay, I think True Cat kind of had a thing going on for somebody called Tinkerbell. I don't know if you remember her.
Vaguely.
And Blub just kept hating on Tinkerbell, like openly like saying bad things about her in chat while she was offline.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she brought it up, he banned her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Um,
I didn't realize, like just because Blub has a crush on True Cat, and when True Cat didn't reciprocate, he banned a True Cat.
mm-hmm.
And then he started flirting with me. And I, I don't know, maybe it's just ego, but I think when he found me on that server, because he actually tried talking to me afterwards after he banned me. It's like I think
Mm-hmm.
he was flirting with me at the time, and then when he banned the server, like I got banned, and I heard people that were still in there were saying like Blub was just like freaking the fuck out, just getting angry. So I don't know. Guy's a character.
Yeah, he didn't like me because I didn't respond well to talking to him. Because, do you remember everything with like Chloe and everything else?
I remember Chloe, because I talked to Chloe. I'm actually in Chloe's server. Um, she said that because like I warned her about Blub, and then
Mm-hmm.
she said like don't worry, she could she's still friends with Blub, but then she got banned, and then she said something about he got into an argument like he banned her boyfriend, and then he
Mm-hmm.
banned her, and then like he saw him for his well she saw him for his true colors. I don't know the specifics on that though.
Ooh, okay. So I like how I remember things that interested me at the time, such as drama, but he offered to get Chloe airplane ticket when she turned 18 to bring her down to him.
Uh,
So basically, he was crushing real hard and trying to hit her up real hard the whole entire time that she existed. By the way, if any woman was in chat, he would try to flirt with her and get like nudes and stuff. And if they didn't respond to him, he would treat them like shit. Anyways, so as a woman,
no, I believe that.
by the way, imagine Blub joining the chat and I'm just there like, and it would be really funny too because I would be pretty quiet in the background. And then as soon as Cranky joined, I would be like, "Hey, Cranky," or if Blub tried talking to me, I would just be like, "Hi." I was very not interested because of one specific reason.
Well, just one.
Well, I mean, every other reason other than his voice, his personality, the way he acted towards other people, his existence on this earth, the way he existed as a human, his whole entire backstory as a human. I'm not sure if he's human. His voice, his personality, his voice.
Okay, but aside from that, there was that one thing, right?
Yeah, mostly the one thing called cranky. Shout out to me hitting on Cranky for like a year until he dated me.
Hey, anything that's worth doing is never easy. You stuck to it, you got your man.
I know! It took so long! Also, it was also really funny when he found out. Because it was just screaming from him.
Well observed.
Because I was joking around and it was just me talking about a situation and just going, oh yeah, you know, it's a lot like the situation with my crush on Cranky, and then it's just,
Okay, you might just cut out there.
yeah, that's because I said that a little bit too out loud, but it was like a very aggressive what? Screaming. And then it was like a, you didn't know? No, I didn't know! And there was lots of screaming.
Well, okay, like definitely, like we both know Cranky is not able to take the hint. He submitted to that.
Oh.
Then again, I don't know exactly what you've been doing to flirt too.
Okay, back then, by the way, I want you to know that I was constantly like, oh, I would date you if you gave me the option, and all of the sellers.
Okay, well that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
And I legitimately said that to him, by the way. I said that to his face where I was like, oh, I would date you. I would 100% date you if you gave me the chance. And he,
Yep.
and,
Okay,
he
there's no
responded
excuse
like,
after that.
he thought I was just being nice.
Okay.
And I was like, do you think with my personality, I would just do that to be nice? No.
Okay. And partly Cranky's defense there, like it's hard to defend that. Okay, me growing up is like I've always had like more female friends than guy friends, and like I've always had like a naturally like I guess playful, flirty personality, but it was always just like not serious for me. Like I'm just kind of joking around, and my friends always knew that I was just kind of joking around. So that just became normal for me. And then I moved, got a new set of friends, and then like I just acted the same way. But I guess they thought I was seriously flirting, and then when they started flirting with me, I just thought they were joking around. So that's my excuse for not being able to pick up any hints. My other excuse is sometimes when I'm pretty sure I'm being flirted with, I get mixed signals. I'm thinking specifically of this one woman I dated, and it was only I wouldn't say dated, but hung out with. But okay, we're at her place, and she told me right off the bat, like doesn't want anything to happen. She just wants to keep it chill, relaxed, and don't she doesn't want to move too fast. All right, fine, I'm cool with that. And then she starts bringing up a lot of sexual topics. I was like, okay.
I think I remember the story.
Yeah, and then she goes back like, oh wait, but that's like she's talking about her friends and all these other sexual, but that's not her. That's not what she wants. It's like, okay. She says she don't want to go anywhere. She keeps bringing this up. Fine, and like this teasing going back and forth for like I think it was like an hour straight, and finally I didn't know what she wanted. I left. She was right because she did want to do something. She was waiting for me to initiate it. I didn't find this out till like after I left, and I'm just thinking, you kept telling me you didn't want to do that. Like, yeah, but she's I was just talking all this sexy stuff. It's like, I don't know what you want. I mean, the way I see it is either I respect her wishes or I potentially commit sexual assault. One of the two. Yeah, I didn't see her again after that.
Yeah.
Well, not trying to be romantic. Like I just tried to be friendly with her because we're still in the same group. But yeah, I was just kind of like, for me, I burned that road, not going back.
Yes.
So I don't like, but it seems like you was pretty blatant and upfront with Cranky. So So you didn't do that. You said, I will date you. And he was like, nah. You don't mean
She'd be a
that.
nice. See, it's also very funny because I'm the type of person who's like, it's like, would you date me? No.
Huh.
Like, because I had a
I'm
lot
afraid
of
I've
weird
changed my
interactions in that server,
I'm staying.
and I was always really straight and upfront about it. But it's like, I'm kind of an asshole. I know that. To people
That's
I
right.
like, I'm a pretty decent human, but
Now, I could only imagine like any the types of messages you get from that server.
God,
It's like
I actually didn't.
I don't know, like I told you, my brother used to pretend to be a girl playing StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the DMs guys send them, and this is back maybe 20 years ago, and like they're so like, oh, what's your email? What's your number? Do you have any pictures? Send us pictures. And this is like after a game where he actually absolutely crushed them. So, I mean, Teehee, I'm just like, I forget how old he would pretend to be. But yeah, constantly being harassed by these guys just to send them pics. Now we're living in the hentai era. I can only imagine what's going on in Discord now.
I have never gotten any messages like that are like, hey, pics, or trying to send me pictures. Because I'm very threatening. Um, I I have never received a dick pic in my life. I want to say that because
Okay, well, I'm one up on you
anybody,
then.
yeah, you've gotten the ass pics, you've gotten the dick pics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've heard of the radar rabbit days.
Yeah. Told him I'm straight. Some guys just don't
uh,
care. He's like, I'll change his mind. Zip.
because of my aggressive personality, I have never gotten anything like from people I know, people who I might know, or anything else. And if I ever got anything from the hentai server, it's like, hey, Pepper, you're a pretty lady. And I'm just like, so are you. I am not a lady.
Not touching.
I thought you
My
were.
daughter.
Are you lying to me?
My wife. Naya. The man that world
And it's
has
just
made me into.
very blatant, like,
I never wanted to be like
fuck you. Like, I would entertain
All I
myself.
wanted was to live a normal life.
I
Live
had
as
very
none of
few
this
people who
world gets
actually
to.
creeped me out on that server,
That's
because
just
if
the
it's
way
like,
of things.
oh, Peppa,
The
and I'm
world
just there
doesn't
like,
care what you want. It decides.
ooh, woo,
We
being
I
a
don't-
little bitch,
I don't, you,
looking at me like that.
I don't know. I think you should have tried. Well, one is like, you're a pretty lady. Oh, thanks. I picked the thumbnail out myself. You should have just gotten into troll competition. I knew this one girl back in Radar Rabbit days. This one woman she would show me the messages she'll get, and she would just troll guys. And there was this one guy who like was pretty much her equal in trolling because they kept going on for like 3 hours trolling each other back and forth. It just became a competition to see who would pass out first. It's pretty hilarious. I
I never really shared my face, so that's a bonus.
I trolled one woman that I could remember. It is I forget, she was messaging. This is on not on Kit, Kik Kick. Is that still around?
Yeah, Kick's still around.
Yeah. I think she got my name from a friend of mine. So and she was like sexual right off the bat, and I was like, okay, I don't know this person. I'm just gonna mess around with her.
Yeah.
So I forget how it went. It's like she kept trying to say sexual things, but then I'll take it like super literal and turn them into mundane things. But she wouldn't stop. I was like, okay, how? Okay, she's not getting the message. Either she's knows she's being trolled, or she's just really just dumb. And I think also just with a straight up hour of her saying like, "Oh, I will lick your lollipop." Like, "Oh, I don't have any sweets. I'm sorry." I'm trying.
No, I mean your lollipop.
Well, I could go to the store and pick some up if you need. Yeah, it was just that back and forth. That's the only time I really ever trolled anybody. Is my rhetoric high enough?
Oh, don't even
Nope.
bother. I have made up my mind.
See, it's just me being like, well, if this is how this is gonna go, I'm gonna have fun, and it's whatever came to mind is what I messaged back. So if it's like, hey, and it's just like, that's unoriginal, that's nothing to work with. I'm just not gonna talk to this person. And if they kept messaging, that's when I'm like, too many messages, gone to voicemail. Please contact later.
I think the only people that ever like I sent out a DM to was either like people I really like chatted with, like in voice chat, and I asked their permission, or like if they put something in, excuse me, in the roleplay request.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are the only people I ever like send out DMs to. If they're either asking for DMs or if I ask for permission.
Does it matter?
I think.
See,
I'm pretty sure.
one of the people that
Yeah.
I was like,
Buried
looking
under the
back, I
sand
was
of the
like,
red
God, I
desert.
hope they made it out safe, and I wish I could
End
talk
of
to them more,
story.
was the giraffes. The giraffes deserved so much.
The giraffes.
There was two people with two different giraffe names in there that were just really nice, caring people, and they were super active in chat, and they were like a couple,
I'm
and
trying
they
to
were in the
remember.
server together. And I still remember them just enough to go like, I hope they're doing well.
Not here.
Like there's
I don't want
a
them to
couple
find
other
my
people
body.
too. I know there's a couple people that I harassed because they were just easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember names. Like, was this like after I was banned?
No, this was before. This was during. You talked to them too.
Oh, I might have. I just don't remember. It's been a while.
That's fine. But they were just two people who just hung out on the server a lot and were really nice. And there was one other person who was also pretty nice. First time I met them, just, hey Pepper, yeah? Can I be your pet?
Spare me the papers. The dead are dead, and what they would have wanted.
It was
is
my first time on the server, and then there was just silence and no.
Until recently, I would have agreed with you.
And it was just like, oh, okay. And doing by the way, doing like any type of anime voice on that server is just 100% gamble on the type of response you got.
Yeah. It is just kind of hard to figure out people there.
Why did we move into the staff room?
Wait, what? Are we in the staff room?
Yeah, we got moved to the staff room.
Am I not? Oh wait, I'm not streaming there anymore, am I? Thought I was. Okay, well I'll just stream here then.
Sorry, this is only limited to admins gameplay and hear this conversation.
Oh, that's right, because my game crashed. So it stopped the stream. Wait a minute, I'm not an admin.
One of the admins must have. I mean, I could have moved us, but I'm not the one that did that.
Yeah, wait, did I get? I don't think I. No,
No.
I'm nuke. I am a nuke. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
Nuke basically, it's not an admin, but they do have. I don't know if they have any power in the new structure. Don't fucking ask me. I have no idea.
Okay, well, I don't pop into the server enough to really do anything.
God, I went away for a weekend where I wasn't really active on Discord, like this past week, like last weekend. And holy moly, I came back and it went from like 30 people to fucking 230. And I just had a moment of, what the fuck happened while I was gone? Because I was... Oh yeah, the reason I missed last Saturday's stream was actually because I was up north. I was like 2 hours away from my house. And I was in the middle of butt fuck. So...
Well, hope you had fun.
I did. I think I got a tick on me, and that was a weird experience.
Oh, were you bitten?
No, just on me. I don't like the idea of things crawling on me, though. I don't vibe with that.
I can relate. I mean, that's why I hate roaches so much. I don't know if I ever talked about it, my hatred for roaches.
I don't think you have.
All right. Growing up in New York, um, I say like we're lower middle class. Um,
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a one-bedroom apartment. It was me, my two younger brothers, both my parents. Um, it wasn't really an apartment. It wasn't meant to be an apartment. It was like the basement of the building, and the
Mm-hmm.
landlord let us stay there. My father was able to convince him. But the way my father convinced him was my father, he had a job, but he also needed to take care of the landlord duties of the landlord. So my father was technically working two jobs just so we could live in that place. And that apartment was kind of like, it was falling apart. Like whenever anybody flushed the toilet, we heard the pipes. Like the pipes were kind of rusted and always like kind of vibrate. And my brothers and I always made a joke that our toilet was Godzilla because when we flushed the toilet, the pipes sounded like Godzilla roaring. But we also had a roach problem in that place. The wallpaper we had up was holding the plaster up. Like we tore down the wallpaper, the plaster on the walls would just collapse. So when there was roaches in the walls, we heard them crawl through the plaster. And there were a few times I would wake up like in the middle of the night growing up and just like I would just feel something crawling on my leg or crawling on my arm. And then when I go to
Yeah.
smack it, you just get that crunch and there was like be like a 2-inch roach crawling on me.
Mm.
Or they'll crawl into my clothes. So like when I get ready for school, I put on my shirt and then a roach would come crawl out the collar and fly away. I guess we had flying roaches.
Mm.
Yeah, so grew up with that for my entire like I don't know 16, 17 years of my life. The first 17 years of my life. So yeah, I grew a very big disdain for roaches.
That's very valid.
Yeah, I think the worst one was like I recently got a cat. I don't think I told you the story on how I got a cat, did I?
No.
Okay, sidebar. We used to play Little League Baseball. Walk into the baseball field with my father. It's a pretty long trip, and we got to walk past a cemetery. On the way back, we hear meowing. So we go up to the gate of the cemetery, like wandering, like, oh, are there cats over here? And we find two kittens, like crawling underneath the gate. We don't find the mother at all. We just see the two kittens. We look all over the place to see where the mother is. Nowhere to be found. It's like, okay, well, we got two stray kittens. We could take care of them, right? While we're trying to bring it home, like we're trying to get them food because we don't know if they ate. So we're going to the store, getting some milk, getting cat food, getting whatever we think. Like I think we got tuna. We couldn't find cat food. Um, this one couple comes by, sees two kittens. They tell us that they have their own cat. They love cats. They're willing to take one of the cats. So like, oh, great, send them off to a new home. Bad idea. They ended up putting it to sleep.
Hmm.
It turned out that their main cat didn't like having kittens around.
Oh.
So we kept one cat. We ended up calling it Lucky. Because my mom always likes to call my pets Lucky. Because they're lucky to be with us.
Hmm.
And as a kid, she would always kind of like jump up on the bed and like nuzzle my nose to wake me up whenever she was hungry. So I remember one night, I felt that little nuzzle on my nose. I thought it was a cat. So I went over to try to pet her. Nope. Big old crunch on my nose. There was a roach crawling on my face.
Mm.
Yeah, so instinctively, I just kind of grabbed it. I kind of flung it. I freaked out. Like, I heard it hit the wall. Because I flung it as hard as I could. Hit the wall. Turned on the light. It's still alive. Just kind of crawls in behind the wall. It's like, well, it's still alive, and now it knows what it looked like.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't like roaches. Now, I've always been curious, but why do you hate horses?
Okay. So my aunt. Okay, basically, let's get into a little bit of family history here. My grandpa abandoned my family, right, and remarried, and the person that he remarried, later he tried to patch up the relationship as soon as me and my siblings were born and was like, hey, I was a shitty, horrible dad to you, and I kind of abandoned the family, but let's get along again. And so I saw her as my grandmother, right? And she had 2 kids of her own. So they were like my step uncle and step aunt. Also, she is a horrible person. I want
Okay.
to say that. And kids, also horrible. And my aunt had horses. And she didn't like me. And so the horses freaked me out, and she would always say stuff to make me be freaked out by the horses. And she would never let me ride them. But she would constantly be like, they can smell fear, stop being afraid, all this other stuff. And constantly made me feed them. Even though she was constantly saying that they were going to hurt me in some way because I feared them. Because she made me fear them.
Okay, so she mentally manipulated you into fearing horses, and got
And then-
annoyed that you were scared of them.
Yeah, basically, and then constantly made me be near them and yelled at me every chance that I got. And basically, it would be like, okay, so Pepper, hold out your hand. Okay, you have to lay the food exactly flat, and you have to put your hand perfectly flat, or else the horse will accidentally eat all your fingers. It will eat your hand.
Okay.
No, you need to put your fingers flatter. You don't want them to eat your fingers, do you? And I'm like, I don't want to feed them. And it's just like, no. You have to learn how to feed them.
Did they ever bite you?
And so, no horse has ever physically hurt me, but I was a very small child, so they were like extra big to me. So basically, it was this animal that's like 5 times my size, and I'm constantly being told that it's gonna hurt me. And I had a horse charge at me. Like, it wasn't actually threatening me, but it didn't like me. Like, it wouldn't have hurt me. It was a display, I guess.
Oh yeah.
It was a threat, not a...
Yeah, it's a display of dominance.
Yeah, right? And that freaked me out. And so horses never have actually hurt me.
Good.
And then my aunt traumatized me, and I'm like,
Able to steer the ship with
this is also... It's also the same reason I'm scared of chickens. Because as a young child, a chicken is about half my size, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, the thing is that my grandmother, quote unquote, would just be there and be like, okay, because they also lived, again, in the middle of buttfuck. There was probably a couple thousand people in the town. Right? Like 10,000 people.
All right.
And so Wisconsin has a lot of farmland. They lived on the edge of town, so there is actually a friend of hers that was a couple miles down the road, right? Like a neighbor. And they had chickens. They had a chicken farm. And it would be like, okay, Pepper, you have to go get the eggs from the chicken. And if you have ever seen a brooding chicken...
A brooding chicken?
Yeah, a brooding. A brooding is when a hen is basically trying to fertilize, like trying to hatch eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That is what brooding means, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, when you said brooding, I thought I was just picturing a chicken with like the emo hair going over its eye.
See, that's a fun fact, is that brooding is actually a term used for chickens and other type of like egg-laying birds when they start to sit on their nest to hatch them.
Good to know. It's become an educational
So-
stream.
Yeah, so the term was actually then described to use like a protective, emotional human. Right? But
Mhm.
basically, a brooding hen is when they start
The
making
others are expecting
low
you.
noises at you, and
There's
they'll
one
puff
more
up
thing.
completely,
This
and then they'll
fabulous
start
belongs
actually
to both.
making protective noises, which is a very low, like, just constantly. Except it's that bird cry sound. And then they'll fly at you if you actually try to take the eggs or something. And a brooding hen, by the way, will sit on a nest for 21 days. Or more. And so imagine, this
Yes.
thing is half my
Poor
size,
Alec will not dare sending his
and
troops straight against
there
our
are 2
walls.
adults
That would be
being like,
tactical
"Go get it."
suicide. For now, we are safe.
and this thing can hurt me because it's
However,
half my size.
The red madness is getting worse by the minute. The
And I'm
Yeah.
like
closing
a
is
6 or
closing in.
7-year-old.
I can feel it.
Oh yeah, not much defensive mechanisms you have at that point.
No. So basically, whenever we went there, she would force me to get eggs from the hen. Specifically the ones that hated and did not want to be touched and would attack.
Look who's here.
Because again, horrible
Talk to
people.
Kamai if you're ready to start. He's just
So
waiting for your signal.
it's I also just have a general fear of birds because she also took me to her friend's house that had a macaw. Like the big fuckers, like the birds that are over like a foot big.
Yeah.
And again, I was a child, and the thing is they're macaws, so they're very, very talkative. They know words, all this other stuff, and it would scream, right? And it would scream at me, and this bird could land anywhere in the house. It had landing perches all over the place, and it was also trained to land on humans. I was a human, but I was a tiny human, and so it was this giant bird. And it reminding you that I had the experience with chickens. So it was a giant bird screaming at me with giant claws trying to land on me. But I just saw it as a threat.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Welcome aboard.
And
How
so
are
I
things
cannot
going?
handle
Are
birds.
you ready?
No.
Well then.
I was
Do you-
traumatized.
Do you think you ever be willing to try to get over your fear of chickens and birds?
See, the thing is that I've had birds on me. I am fine with birds in general.
There we go.
But if they fly at me, I'm not good. And I will always be super like nervous and cautious. So like I can have a bird walk on me. I find birds to be beautiful. I love them. But if they fly at me, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah. What about the
'Cause
horses?
it's like,
He's like, well, you said like they haven't done anything new to you yet, aside from the one intimidating you. It's just like your aunt putting the fear into you.
yeah, but the thing is because it was at such a young developmental age, the likelihood of me being able to erase that is low.
Well, you know, I'm not saying it will be easy. I'm just saying, like, would you be willing to give it a try?
I would if it was a need to situation, but until then, no.
All right. Like, I'm not going to
Like-
push you to do it. Like, I used to actually work with horses. I think I've talked about my summer job, working with horses.
Because I know, like, they're their own animals, they're not blah blah blah. I know all of that, like, logically, but it's also the part of my brain that's like, fear.
Yeah, it's an illogical fear. That's not something
Yeah.
that could be. Yeah, like me, heights. Can't stand heights. Not really so much the height part; it's the falling part I cannot handle. And planes too. It's like I've flown a few times. Like I used to fly like every year to visit my family. Haven't done that in a while. And every single time, I always like come close to suffering a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time, like it just. Remember, I brought Celia to visit my family. This is like the first time she visited my family, like years ago. And when we were going to fly back, I don't know what came over me, but when I was about to walk out onto I forget what it's called, like where you wait for the plane. It's like every muscle in my body wanted to turn away and run.
Yeah.
Like logically, I knew there was no need for that. And honestly, if Celia wasn't there, and if I wasn't trying to act tough in front of Celia, because the good part of a relationship, I'm trying to like just, you know, appear tougher than I am. You know, I would have probably ran. Yeah, so there was, you know, toxic masculinity, me trying to be tough in front of a woman. That actually helped me out.
See, because I have quite a few interesting traumas and everything else, and my anxiety really adds to it. Just peak, right? And so it's very interesting with like the car one, because I used to not be able to be in a car for longer than like 30 minutes without having a panic attack, and that got better in the past year because I wanted to meet people that I knew online and had been talking to every night for 9 months straight, and it was a 2.5 hour drive, and I literally went, fuck it, I want to meet these people. And so
So how did you get over that? Were you able to like distract yourself?
It was literally buckle up, buttercup. And I did basically, yeah. And then I went into a state of shock as soon as I saw them because I knew what they looked like, but I had never met them in person, and I've been talking to them every night for 9 months. And it was just a moment of, oh god, you're a real person. Oh god, hi. And it was a dramatic run and everything. I took this person into my arms. I hugged them so hard, and I spun them in a circle. And that day, if I didn't have pictures of that day, it wouldn't feel real because I was in a state of shock for the whole entire day. And on the ride home, it was literally, my friends came to pick me up 2.5 hours upstate and drove me home. And it was like a thing of like, none of this feels real. Nothing's real. And like, I no longer talk to them because we had a falling out. But
Oh, that's a shame.
yeah, they still hold a special part in my life and my life history, and I will never regret doing that because those were people that were super important to me then, and they meant so much to me. And in the end, it helped me with my thing of driving, because I spent 5 hours in a car that day, and nothing will ever be as bad as that. And I ended up spending more time in cars after that, and I've gotten a bit better. And then, you know, back in whatever month it was, it was actually really nice not to have a super major relapse from the last one.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Did I tell everybody in the server about the deer situation?
I don't think so.
Okay, so basically, a couple months ago, I think it was like March or something, I was helping my friends move back from their dorms because of COVID. And at night, at like 9 p.m., going 55 on a back road, we hit a deer.
Clouds, and I'm part of it.
Did it go underneath the car or did it go on the hood?
Surreal.
It popped off the hood.
But anyway, it's good that you're here. I wanted to talk to you.
So,
do you have a second?
basically, going 55, we hit it. It hit the hood, and it spiraled off and went. It didn't crack the hood, window or anything.
I wanted to
Fucked up the engine a bit, but we were fine.
all that's happened
The deer
since
was
I plucked you
instantly
out of that
dead.
thicket on the Sun Coast,
Oof.
it did
And
something to me.
it literally flew so high in the air, like it rolled off so hard that it went almost completely against the road, other side of the road, like it was nearly off.
It's hard to put into words. You know, I still
It
believe
was
what I
it
told
was
you that time.
an
we met in
interesting
Pensacola,
experience, and
that we all act as we do because we hope it
I
makes
still
us
get a
happy.
bit jumpy when things come from my
And
right side because I was in the
somehow,
passenger
no
seat,
small part
and my
thanks to
brain goes,
father,
"Is that a deer?"
I've always considered
But
responsibility
it's not
and
like
being
a
happy
full
to be
entire relapse
contradictory.
where I can no longer be in cars.
But actually, that's wrong. It's the exact opposite.
Like, I only have one deer story. Like, it isn't as dramatic as yours. It was like my younger brother, the middle child, he was driving.
If you never find that,
And
you'll never find
we're in a
yourself.
big, it wasn't a pickup truck. What do you call that?
Oh yeah, we were in a bug.
SUV? I don't know. Well, it was a big truck, so a deer did come out. We hit it, but we didn't hit it full on. It's like his head popped out, so we kind of like hit his head on the right side of the car. And then my brother, like, just kind of hit the brakes. And then he was like, look at me, like, should we check? It's like, yeah, I think we should check. We didn't find the body. Either it spun off into the woods, or it was able to get up and leave. So we're there for a few minutes, and I was like, okay, well, we can't find the body. And he's looking at me. He's kind of freaking out. He's like, what do we do? What do we do? It's like, well, let's get out of here before its parents show up, because I look pretty young. And that's the end of my story. So I like to think that deer got up and was able to walk away.
Yeah,
we couldn't find the body, so either that or there was something even scary out in the woods that dragged it away. Which is more of a reason for us to get out of there.
It's because most people get stuck in the whole entire 55 miles per hour part, because it's like, how did you, and it's like, German engineering, the Volkswagen Bug, meant to take a hit, because the funny thing is that 2020 has been going horribly, and my friends actually in January hit a deer, also, same car.
That car is cursed.
No, Ellie did what, also the car's name is Ellie. Ellie did a wonderful job. She took 2 fucking deers and she went out still walking. We drove the car
Is your friend
home.
safe though?
Yeah. The first time it barely left a dent in the hood, and they were perfectly fine. The second time it left a major dent in the hood, broke a headlight, cut the manual steering, and like did a couple things to the engine. Also, imagine being on a back road. There's no lamps or anything. It's in the middle of a field. The speed limit is 55.
That
And it's one
sounds
of the-
bad.
And we just hit a deer. We pulled off to the side, and I'm having my moment of shock of like, we just hit a deer, and my friend's like, I went through this a couple months ago. I'm more mentally stable, and just was like, are you okay? And I'm like, ha. Because I've also this was also lucky
not.
number 8.
In the end, I can only speak for
for
myself.
accidents for me.
The fact is,
Because
though,
I'm
that-
cursed, and it's also why I don't drive.
That it feels like I owe this
Oh, did I tell you why I don't drive?
now. That's
Why?
part of something
Well, because
momentous.
I did get into a pretty big accident that completely totaled the car.
It surprises me.
Oh fuck.
No matter
And
how
I think I might have mentioned that I have blackouts.
no regrets.
No, it's not like I don't black out like this pass out blackout.
Despite all the trouble we got ourselves
It's
into,
more like I zone out.
our paths crossed.
Like from my perspective, I just kind of like lose seconds of time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened to me. It's like I think I just got my license. I've had it for maybe half a year. So, and I was working in McDonald's. This is back in Pennsylvania. Forget how old I am. I think I also just graduated too. So like 19, 18, 19, something like that. Working at McDonald's. I'm driving back and forth. And Pennsylvania up in the mountains. It's like it's a very windy road through the mountains.
Yeah.
A lot of forest. So it's not like here in Phoenix where everything's on a grid. So I'm driving, and then on a curve, that's when the blackout hit, and I ended up like, getting off the road. And so when I came to, it's like I just hear a lot of grinding. The car is shaking. I don't know what's going on. And I'm trying to like turn back onto the road, but then I hit a tree. The car like flips around. Kind of like made like a big U shape inside the trunk. Not the trunk, the front of the car. And like I was perfectly safe. It's like I wasn't hurt at all. I just calmly turned off the car and just sat there for like a full on 10 minutes until like somebody finally drove by, saw the wreck, and because I didn't have a cell phone. Cell phones weren't that common back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody else was able to to call up a tow truck for me. And since then I realized like, it's not safe for me to drive. I really shouldn't get behind the wheel of a car. So that's why I stick to public transportation. That's why I always take the light rail and Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And I use Cilia for my transportation. If I'm ever in a place that doesn't have public transportation, I'm screwed. One of the reasons I stay in Phoenix.
I've just been in a lot of like varying from, hey, we got T-boned and nearly spun into a lake to,
But anyway,
yeah,
enough of
just
this
nearly spinning out and hitting
sentimental
another
babble for
car to
You should probably
rolling
rest
and
a
hitting a
little.
pole type
who
things,
knows what awaits us
all
up there.
before I could legally actually the deer one is the only one that happened after I was 18, right?
Oh, Amberger's in chat. I think she's been trying to get our attention for a while. Hey,
Oh,
Amberger.
fuck.
Sorry I missed you. We were deep in talk with stories.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so I don't have a driver's license. I don't really plan on getting one.
Yeah, just get a state ID. That lasts forever. You don't need to renew it. At least
Oh
not.
yeah, I do have a state ID because I want to get alcohol.
Oh, that's one reason to get it.
That was mostly a joke, don't worry. I mean, it's also true,
Let's just
but
skip
I
the
mean-
small talk.
I
I
mean-
was never good at that.
So, oh no, Pepper drinks alcohol.
I need to show you.
For shame.
Tony,
Don't worry.
yes,
I
the
couldn't sleep,
legal,
so I used the chance to
legal
take a
adult.
look around. The thought that Kermine did this all by himself. It's incredible.
Me is my fine
It would
21-year-old
take
self.
dozens of untrained craftsmen at least 5 years to do
Although I
this.
do recall a story about you drinking before you were 21.
I mean, I have stories of me drinking 21. Nothing more than a shot.
So, are you
Yeah, it's like I think I'm trying to remember like the first time I ever had alcohol. It's probably a family member tricking me. I had really weird, twisted uncles and cousins. During the holidays, living back in New York, I had a big family. It's like, okay, my parents had 3 kids, me and my 2 younger brothers. That's small in comparison to what some of my aunts and uncles had. So like the huge family get-togethers, like all cramped into this small apartment. There's Spanish music blaring all the time, and amongst all my family, like I am the one quiet, proper child. I'm polite. I don't make any noise. I don't cause any trouble. I just keep to myself, which is the complete opposite of everybody else in my family. Like everybody else is a whole bunch of party animals. So for as long as I can remember, somebody always tried to slip some alcohol in my drinks just to loosen me up. Particularly my uncles. Now, I'm trying to remember the first time I actually drank alcohol that I knew about. I think I was like 16 or 17. And it was vodka. And I might have had a spiked pina colada. Not pina colada, it was a daiquiri. I would drink like virgin drinks because I like the taste of it. And I think somebody spiked my drink when I was 14. But that's the youngest I think I ever drank. The only consensual drinking I did was when I was 16 to 17. And that was like only a shot.
Because I was the good white sheep of the family. My dad liked to basically go, here, try this. And me go, okay, okay.
Yeah, but just bear with me. You'll be
surprised. And then I would try it, give my review, and either be disgusted or not, and just move on with my life.
Good.
Yeah, like outside of the, like when I had that consensual alcohol, like at 17, I think that was the last I drank. Like I became a straight edge after that. Like I just didn't like the taste of alcohol.
I started drinking maybe once a year once I turned 18. And then now that I'm 21, it's like,
I just had to see it for myself.
Alcohol.
Oh, Amateur's never had alcohol.
It's...
I would recommend it at least once to see if it's your thing. It's not my thing. Like, I like to... Like, okay, outside of this, it usually just tasting bad. I like to be in control of my facilities because I already have enough brain problems as it is, which is why I'm straight edge. Because I don't trust myself being inebriated in any way.
I know that I get more and more sleepy the further I drink.
In any case,
and that I'm a lightweight.
Okay, you're a sleepy. Do you eat anything before you drink? And
oh yeah.
Yeah, wine is actually kind of healthy for you, Amateur, in moderation.
No, quickly, run.
Basically, I'm also the mom friend, so I'm the person that's getting pretzels and everything else for my friends, and just being like, "Have you drank water in the past hour? Have you eaten anything?" So I'm also the same for myself. I'm just a lightweight. I didn't inherit my 5 generations of alcohol. Also, I made a joke like that to one of my parents' friends. Like, one of my friend's parents. And I had a moment of, they did not take that well. Because I was just making jokes like, yeah, the past 5 generations of my family, it gets less abusive every generation, but still.
Yeah, well,
it did not.
Yeah, I guess like in their head, they're probably thinking like, well, should we take this seriously or not?
Like, I was just joking around, and I was making clear, like, we started off with a mafia wife who killed her husband and moved to America, so the bar is pretty high there, and then we slowly de-escalate.
Alright, Callie is laughing now. This is the first time I've ever seen this character not be miserable.
Clearly, they liked the story about my great-great-something grandma murdering their husband.
Instead of sharpening our weapons and talking gloomily.
Yes, that sounds
we play
delightful.
Hide and seek, like
I
two little
mean,
kids who
yeah.
just stole an
Wouldn't
apple
you
from
want to
their
leave the
neighbor.
mafia and your abusive husband by
That's just
hitting him over the
bizarre,
head with
isn't it?
a pole and then pushing him down the stairs to make it look like an accident, and then leaving Czechoslovakia and going to America?
Well, I don't see any other options, really.
Yeah, you gotta abandon the mafia, abandon your last name, become a very common white person last name, and move on with your 13 children.
Well, you know, I'm thinking like if picking a very common, you know, white person last name, that'll be easier for you to get away from the mafia. 13 children, though, it's gonna be hard to hide that.
Yeah, my grandpa was one of 13.
Give a couple of the kids a minority last name so that you can pretend they're hired help instead.
That's horrible, Celia. Did you hear that? Did you hear what she said? Yeah, she's like across the room. I'm surprised if you actually heard her.
Yeah, because all I heard was give a couple of the kids.
I mean, you're trying to hide from the mafia. You have to take drastic
Okay.
measures if you do sound racist.
Okay, the volume's probably lower on Discord on the OBS, so everybody watching the stream, what Celia said was probably give the kids like minority last names, so if anybody comes up, you can just say they're hired help.
These are my children. I mean, these ones are indentured servants that came with us from Czechoslovakia. These ones are actually my children.
I mean, you're saying this is your grandmother, so I'm trying to think like the years.
This was my great grandma.
Yes, great.
Basically.
So that would probably work. Child labor probably isn't that looked down upon back then.
Okay, because Czechoslovakia became the Czech Republic and like Slovakia in the 1930s, so it was before the 1920s. I know, like it was during the 1920s or early turn of the century, and because we specifically came from Czechoslovakia, which was before it split. So it's like, okay, this is the time period. This is sometime before that. So these are my actual children. These ones are indentured servants that live. I adopted them from their parents back in Czechoslovakia, and they actually came with. That's why they have different names.
Oh, I rescued them from their parents to bring them to America, and now they're learning the value of $1 by working for me. Eventually, in a few months, they might earn $1.
I paid them by giving them a bed and warm, a shelter over their head. They cannot. They are grateful to me for, and plus they get to come to America, much better than here, the lands of dreams.
And if they do a good job, they might get a second meal a day.
Yes, that's a.
Yeah. 13. I mean, 13. Okay. Okay, now I'm thinking back to my parents because my mom was like, she was the youngest out of like 8 or 9 kids. And my dad, like, both my parents are like in really huge families too. But then, you know, we're Hispanic, so that's just kind of common in Puerto Rico. Just have gigantic families that you can't support. Because on my mother's side, like my uncle, one of my uncles, didn't go to school. Instead, he worked. Like even from a kid, like he would work to try to help support the family. And he never got a proper education. Like I love the man to death, but you could tell that it didn't do him much good in the long run, mentally. My other uncle, also on my mother's side, he became a criminal. That's how he supported the family. And then the one other uncle that was actually a decent guy, he became friends with my dad. That's how my parents met. Like, my mom's brother was best friends with my dad. But there was also a weird age gap. It's like, I think my dad's like 10 years older than my mother. So like, he was like in his mid-20s before he became interested in my mom.
I don't know how my grandparents met. I just recently, in the past year, learned how my parents met.
Oh.
Yeah, it was because basically both of my parents. My dad had a kid by the time he was 18, and was ready to be engaged at 18. My mother was engaged at 18, and also ready to have children. And then my dad's fiance, their family was trash, by the way. I love my half-sister to all death and back, right? I love my sister. But her family, the way that they treated dad was fucking shit. Because my dad was 2 years older than his girlfriend, my sister's mom. And they were basically like, if you don't pay child support, or if you don't help support this child, we're gonna fucking charge you with statutory rape.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
Because we didn't have any Romeo and Juliet laws in Wisconsin at the time, and he had just turned 18, so she was still underage. And then they had my sister, and they were doing fine. My dad actually dropped out of high school to start working to provide. And then so she left him for a shitty man that she's still with. And then eventually no devil bug.
Wait, what was that?
Okay. I'm fine with bugs, right? I am the resident killer of bugs in my house, but there's one type of I don't like flying bugs because I have a fear that they will get stuck in my hair. I may or may not have had that happen before because I've lost pencils in my hair. Now imagine if
I'm sorry I laughed, but like that's. I mean, yeah, that's a thing that could happen, and I don't know why I just found that funny, because that's kind of horrifying. If they laid eggs in your hair, I mean, it'll be weeks before you found out.
Honestly, that's if they. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it was because of the sound that I made at the sight of it. Also, I should probably kill it before it tries anything. So, I'll be back in a second.
All right.
I need to murder.
In a good or bad way?
If you hear any screaming, I'm sorry.
That's good to hear. You know, Sayura, I've been
So
thinking
either I put this in my
about
fish
what
tank.
happened in the castle and the talk we had after that.
Good. You still chasing it?
I tried to kill.
Well, do you remember when I said that I should maybe just give up and
It's
accept
stuck
that I'll
in a
never
water
be able
bottle.
to fully control that thing inside me? You tried to comfort me and told me that what happened in the castle was just an accident. And
By the
that
way, those
with
things are the
just enough
size of a fucking.
tenacity, I could make sure it would never happen again.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to text Silly to let her know the microwave is done.
Then I thought
It's
about
beeping.
it and realized that
Okay.
there was actually
So
some truth in what I said.
basically, two parents.
You know, all my
my
tried to kill
wife,
that part of me
my
because it
mother
made me feel despicable.
ends up
And every
his
time I failed,
so
I hated myself for it,
sorry.
and thought that I
Her
was just
fiance
too
ends up
weak,
being fucking
but that was the
insane,
wrong way to look at it
like
from the very
legitimately.
start. This
And
thing,
then she starts
the
dating
only
one of
way
my
to
dad's
truly kill
friends.
it would be to kill myself.
They break up,
and I can't
and
and
at the
won't do
time
that.
she didn't have
Not
anywhere
now, when there's so much
to
at stake.
stay, so
Nor
she
in the
ends up
future if
sleeping
there is one.
in the house that I still live in, which has been the family house since the 70s. And she ended up staying here for a couple days, and then her and my father bonded, got together, had my sister, had me, got married, and then had my brother.
No.
So
I
my
won't let it
parents
harm
met because
anyone
they both
ever
got
again.
out of a fucking insane
But I'll
relationship,
accept that it's a
and
part
they
of me.
chilled together, and then had a
You
kid.
know, Sayura, what good did all the self-loving ever do? I
Hey, you
had
know,
a tough hand, and with that thing and
thankfully they
everything
didn't get
else,
married to the
the
previous people.
I I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the best, maybe the
Both
only
of my
way to
parents
deal
have
with
horrible
something like
taste in
this.
people. I want to say
Accept
that.
it, as
I
despicable
say that
as it may be,
still
because it
as
is
they
part
are
of who
together.
you are.
And
Do you understand what I mean? I'm not deluding myself. Living with this thing will be something I have to wrestle with for the rest of my life.
it's just very much an oh dear
There will always be
situation.
moments of weakness when it will try to get the best of me. But I will
Don't know how my
resist.
grandparents got together,
And I will do
but
so
I know
without
that my
condemning myself
grandpa
every time it
was a couple
happens.
years older than my grandma Marilyn.
And in the meantime, I
And
will
then they
live.
got together and had
I will
6
do all the
kids,
things that
and
I
then he
never allowed
left her
myself to do.
after
Build
like 20
friendships,
years.
Go see the world and go dancing.
I don't. I'm just curious as to like what happened there.
He cheated on her and then got with Ruth. And
Gotcha.
abandoned the family.
Okay.
And then my uncle Jimmy started taking care of the family because he was 23 and the oldest son. And then he did a horrible job.
Yes.
Because
That.
we still live in the same house, right? And Jimmy tried doing DIYs, but see, he was horrible at it. And so to this day, my dad is finding things that my
You
uncle
are,
did
if you want to be.
that were stupid and fixing them. Because we have a cupboard, right? And it was missing a shelf, and we had no idea where the shelf was.
You know,
We looked
I'm not
underneath
sure
the
I
basement
could've-
stairs, where apparently
why am I
Jimmy used to
still
keep his
talking?
ferret, because he turned it into like a little ferret room. And there we found in the corner an old, moldy, still kind of reeking of ferret gross, the shelf that matches the whole entire kitchen, disgustingly in the corner. Because during the original like teen after Corona hit, my dad was like, okay, I'm doing DIY projects. I can't be in this house. Because basically, my dad has worked since he was 13 years old and hasn't stopped working. So being unable to do anything while being stuck in the house drove me insane.
Oh, and FYI, while you're talking, I think our characters had sex here.
I mean, that was their choice.
I wanted to go with Vesma, but she wasn't a romantic choice. This is the only female option for romance in this game.
So she's our romantic interest then?
Yeah, she's the only female romantic interest.
I mean, hit up those men, Crank. Just hit up all the men.
Oh, there's one male romantic interest, just Spar. Not my type.
Aww.
But what can I say? I'm not into penises.
I don't know. That's according to all the people rate a rabbit. That's a you.
I mean, I know I keep getting pictures. Hasn't worked yet.
You're not gonna see. The funny thing is that you're not really gonna be able to upload this one to YouTube just because it has no context to the stream. It's just basically me and you rambling for like an hour or so.
I say like okay, what we recorded, it's been an hour and a half. We've been rambling for like 2 hours. Because it was like the first half an hour was just me trying to get my OBS to work. And then it finally worked, then it started recording, and then it was just us rambling, while occasionally there'll be some gameplay.
So basically, if you ever need to fill space, I am here for you.
You're always welcome to join the voice chat, you know that. Even though in Space Marine, and I know you got Space Marine, you just won't play it with me.
I feel insecure with public.
Well, really, it's just like, it will just be you, me, Star King, maybe Caramel will join. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Nobody watches my Thursday night streams, except for Amberger and you occasionally when you're awake.
I still remember watching your streams during full season and just being like, yes, I can talk to my father now.
Wait, what?
I legitimately used to do that. I even made a joke during one of the streams where it's like, because you guys would just be like, the the Packers are doing this or whatever team is doing that, and then my dad would talk about fucking football, and I would be there like, I understand some of these words.
I understand the dad lingo now. All those dad jokes make sense now. So that's why he's a terrible dancer.
No, because I was just genuinely like, I understand these football game things now. Yes.
Yes, sports ball.
Yeah, sports ball. So, you and Star King just talking back and forth about football.
I'm trying to remember that stream. This sounds like so long ago.
Sorry, I didn't wake
Because
you
it was
earlier.
that sounded
You
so
seemed
accusatory. You but no, it was just you and Star King talking, and then I would absorb the information and use it for my own benefit.
Well,
It was when football was still a thing during football season, and they were footballing on Thursday or whatever.
yeah, I remember originally I had my stream schedule set so I wouldn't be streaming during a football game. That's not a problem now. Wonder what the Giants would have been doing this season anyway. Microwave! I text her and everything. She doesn't look at her phone. Oh, she's gonna have to reheat that now. It's been in there for so long.
Gentle beeping in the background.
Ah, so you could hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I had to. I actually put a noise gate on my OBS so it wouldn't catch sounds that are like too low. Like the mic will actually turn off if it's too quiet. So I think the beeping wasn't caught on the stream, unless I'm talking while it's beeping. Then that would have been caught. You're here and everything because you're with me on Discord.
That's true.
Wait, you started there. What else are you hearing that I don't realize?
No, you're fine. Okay, so I can't text and talk, and so, somebody's messaging me, and I'm not understanding the conversation, really, and so I can't text and talk, because I suck at texting. It makes me nervous, because you know how a lot of people have a fear of talking and calling people? I have the same thing with texting people. It's why I'm not that active in the Discord when it comes to, like, chat or anything, but I'm very active when there's a chance for voice chat. Because texting freaks me out because the way that, like, depending on what you say, it could literally be interpreted whatever way. I can't hear the tone of voice, so I can't know exactly what you mean.
I got you. Mean like you can't tell sarcasm, or if anybody's just being joking or serious or anything. Oh, amateur heard me scream microwave.
Yeah, that was very clear.
I hope I didn't startle anybody.
No, you're fine.
I tend to try to keep my voice monotone as possible. The Ben Stein voice.
I hate hearing my voice back, so whenever I talk to you, I completely the stream as to just,
What do you say?
not hear myself because I hate my own voice. But I do like chatting with you. So.
Oh, hey, thanks for the lemon tree. Yep. Well, I love chatting with you. I hate hearing my voice, which is, I think I said this before, it's one of the reasons I haven't completed my rewind video. It is the cringiest thing, editing my own videos. Like, I don't know how I did YouTube videos for like over a year. Because every week, like, I try to do it like clockwork. Every Sunday, I have a new video out. And I hated listening to myself and editing. I don't know why. I just don't like seeing myself. I don't like hearing myself. And, I don't know. It's probably one of the reasons I don't really look at myself in the mirror very often either.
Coco.
Yep.
What if we move to your server? So then if any, like...
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not picking up
anybody
anybody.
Can join here anyways.
Oh, yeah. We're in the admin room. Yeah, I came here to try to, you know, like, see if anybody in Nuke's channel would be interested in the stream, but yeah, this isn't gonna work.
And then you weren't streaming, so one of the admins moved you.
Alright, I'm jumping over into General.
Yeah. See ya.
Alright, anybody who's watching on DLive, that's also in Discord, feel free to join Pepper and I in the voice chat. We're now in the Choppy Crew Discord. Alright, well, thank you, Tree. I'm glad you at least like my voice.
You have a very nice voice.
I know, I guess for everybody, like, well, okay. Thank you for saying I have a nice voice. I think I have a nice voice until I actually hear my voice.
See, you can think whatever you want about your own voice. You're allowed to, right? But from an outsider's perspective, most people will 100% agree that you have a wonderful voice.
Oh, well, thanks for that. It reminds me
Because
back...
that's originally... I mentioned that earlier, is that's the original reason I followed you on Twitch. Because you were just randomly promoting your Twitch and saying, like, you stream and stuff. And I legitimately went, he has a nice voice. I'll follow him.
I guess for everybody, like... Well, worked in my favor. I don't know. It's like, in my head, it's like, I don't know if it's, like, when you hear your own voice. Amateur, Tree, let me know if it happens to you. My head, my voice is actually deeper than what it sounds like. The same for you? It's just deeper?
Yeah, it's why when I hear, like, my voice on your stream or something, my brain goes, oh my god, my voice is so fucking high.
Yeah, I was really confused because it didn't sound like you on the stream, Pepper. Also, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, it's like, because I don't think your voice is that high pitched. Like, when you say, like, it's super high, I think that's an exaggeration, but to you it's probably really high because that's not what you're used to hearing. Okay, Amateur also thinks her voice is deeper.
Coco, how much money should I carry on me?
Between 10 and 20.
You think 10?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to carry $40 in my
Good,
back of my
I
phone.
suppose. But truth be told,
I think
I'm
about
also
10
afraid,
because it will get you most
you know,
things that
to make a
are on the
mistake.
cheaper side,
all of this
depending
it's
on where you're
new
going.
to me, and it happened quickly.
What?
There you were. There were these feelings, and then,
Huh?
then
The
this.
fuck? What?
The first time the other person felt the same way, yes. There was a girl once, when I was younger. A novice. Silva.
It got really quiet. Like, I don't know if you two are just watching the stream really intense right now, hearing her story.
No.
It
It hurts me to say it, but she lacked the discipline for it. She's an adjutant to a priestess now, and I don't even know if she's still in Enderal.
See, Amber's saying this. Choppy's voice is actually high. Imagine how deep he hears his.
Oh my god.
Okay, now you understand what I'm saying. Imagine how deep you think I hear my voice, and then when I don't hear it, when I listen to myself, I mean, come on. In my head, I sound a lot sexier than I actually do.
Because you have a very nice voice.
Sexy, Coco. I'm gonna hide $20. I just don't know where I should hide it. I'm gonna hide it in my player's handbook. That sounds like a great place.
Well, I could barely hear Tree here.
Oh, am I being quiet?
Oh, well, I actually have your volume down. There we go.
Oh, it probably has to do with me violently moaning into the mic every hour.
That has happened, yes.
Because,
well,
like,
let's put it this way.
I don't hear my own voice, so when I do, it's just a cringe fest of, God, my voice is so fucking high. It's so high. I hate this.
I like your voice, Pepper.
So, I was just like I am nowadays.
You can type.
Yeah, your voice isn't as high as
made me afraid.
as you think it
They were
is.
just there all of a sudden, and they
I know, but it's the same.
intense and unreasonable.
It's like, yes, this is my voice tone, and then hearing myself and being like, disgusting.
Okay.
I like.
I'm gonna see if I can actually deepen my voice just to see, like, if you hear what I hear. I don't know if I could deepen my voice any more than this. This just sounds weird. I feel like I'm doing an impersonation of somebody. I just don't know who it is.
Alright, Coco, now I need to hear the lolly voice.
I don't
Do a
have one.
lolly voice, please.
I don't have one.
Please.
No, I don't have one.
You gotta try.
Because
I can't.
Hold on.
My Adam's apple gets in the way.
oh dear.
Between us, it was somehow slower. More like some
Oh
sort
god,
of
I'm hearing
trust,
myself through the
some sort of
stream into
affection
this.
which grew with each
Disgusting.
passing day.
Yeah, I always mute the
Especially
stream
through the
whenever I
talks we
talk
had.
on it because I can't handle my own voice.
No, it isn't. I think if I had felt the same towards you as I did towards Silva, I would have done one thing.
Because I
Backed
have
off.
my natural voice, right?
Meditated.
And then I have my
Killed these
my
feelings
social
bit
voice
by
that I
bit
created
so that
in
they
like high
couldn't
school
gain
to seem
control over
more
me.
appealing to people,
The
right?
fact that it wasn't like that.
And I'm like,
That's what
God, I
made all
can't
this
even
possible.
imagine how high that voice is in
You notice it,
comparison.
What? I want to hear the social voice you got.
You accepted me despite
Because
everything
okay,
you knew
this is my
about
natural
me.
voice, and it's
And
only in the
honestly,
past
until the
couple
very
months
end,
that I've
I
actually
thought
started
there had
talking in
to
my
be
natural
some
voice.
catch to it.
But then I have my
Some
social voice,
logical
which is what I
reason
use
for
out
your
in
affection.
public or when talking to
I just
certain
couldn't
people
imagine you
to
did
seem
it
more friendly because it's higher, which
you know.
seems more friendly.
Anyway, to
It
be
has
honest,
more
for once in my
inflections in
life,
it, just
I
to
don't
go
want to
up and
think about my
down
feelings too
and seem
much.
more interested
I'm
because my
just
natural voice is
happy.
very flat.
And that's it.
And the thing is that my customer service voice is even higher because it's even more feminine and appealing.
Did you know people are supposed to move their eyebrows when they like speak to show emotion? 'Cause
Oh yeah, I do that.
know
I learned how to do that. I taught myself how to do that.
Yeah, it's like I used to work the catch register, and Amberger, you do have a squeaky voice. I don't know how you hear it in your head, but it is kind of. I have no problem with it.
I have
But
not heard Amber.
it's like when I used to work at McDonald's, having to work the registers, I had to train myself to smile, to look interested, to okay, what's the word? Seem non-threatening. And yes, eyebrow movement was also a big thing.
Oh god, I have resting bitch face and my natural voice is also so flat. So my entire existence, around 15, I went, I'm gonna seem social. So I literally upped my voice, learned voice inflections, and learned how to move my eyebrows and the rest of my face.
Yeah, I don't like working. Yeah, if I could never do customer service again in my life, I'll be happy.
So,
Because I don't want to fake doing that stuff again.
God, having to coddle a 50-year-old man is always an interesting experience.
I can't wait to go and like take theater classes and then end up working in like customer service and hating my. I mean, never mind.
That's really how it goes.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
Yeah, just don't make it don't take it as a career. Just do it to pay the bills, and then you use that money for your career. It sounds squeaky in your head. Now I'm curious, like, what do you hear in your head, Amateur?
I wish I could describe to you
know.
what I hear in my head.
Hopefully one that
when it
includes
comes
the
to
two
my
of us being
voice.
together. First,
Is it deeper in your
resolve
head?
the cycle. Find the numinous, light the
I
beacon,
think it's
and
deeper,
then-
yeah.
Mine's
I
100%
can't imagine
deeper.
that this
Nope.
quarry
I
will
know
just
that.
set sail and go back to Naren once we've
It's like, try
destroyed
doing a
the
deep voice and let's see how
central
deep you can
mankind,
get.
which essentially means war. But let's
What should I
be
do?
honest, Mira, we can't
I
win.
don't.
Not
I don't
against
think I
Naren.
can go that low, actually.
Yeah, well, imagine yourself doing the salted coffee character that you're gonna stream for everybody to be everybody's daddy.
God, I love salted
But
coffee.
funny enough, the only time where I actually go low with my voice is when I oi my way. Shinderu.
Oh, she reverted.
Is this lowly time now? Is that where we're going with this?
It is lolly time. Let's go, Pepper.
I don't know. I don't. Am I gonna have to put an X tag on this stream?
Okay,
Okay, so clearly I talk exactly the same, I say the exact same stuff, but now it's just in a really high-pitched voice, and this is the only way I talk to you.
I can live with that.
Coco. I'm not gonna go full lowly because I will laugh too hard, but I think this is a good balance. It's good enough. I'm already trying not to laugh.
We'll see.
This is not going well.
It sounds like you're hurting yourself right now.
Say that we should focus on getting rid of the high ones first.
Meow meow, I'm a loser cat with a gambling addiction. I lost to the student council and now I'm 3 million yen in the hole.
How did the student council get that much money?
Coco, haven't you heard of rich
I'd recommend
people?
a little clothing first, though. I don't think
In the student council?
look as much as I do.
I mean, isn't that like government funds? I don't know. I don't know how the economy goes
Coco.
in Japan.
Coco, basically, here in America, because we're gonna do America, because I don't know fuck about Japan. Because I don't want to actually learn about their culture. Hello! Anyways, so basically, if we go by the American capitalism, that means that all of the schools are based on their local tax collections. So if you go to a rich neighborhood, they're gonna have better funding and all of that other stuff. So that means that richer students are going to apply, people are more likely to make donations, and thus have leeway within their school system, and also just have a generally higher application and everything else.
Well, but the problem with that is, like, if you're gonna use American rules, is like in comparison to in Japan, because in Japan the student council actually has like a lot of political power in the school, like about as much, if not more, than the principal. That's not the way it is here in the States. So running the money here in the States isn't run by the students.
So that just means that they're probably rich fuckers too.
Oh, well, you got me there.
Part of me is very tempted to Google the school system just so I can continue to educate people in this voice. But also, I don't want to do that, because that's a lot of effort and work. And it's fucking almost midnight here, and that's not the mood, dude.
Oh yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock here.
It's 12:48 a.m., woo-woo.
He was at
Ain't
first,
that a fucking
yes.
mood?
But he's grown more distant the closer we've gotten. Let's just hope for the best.
I just read a chat. Amber's just saying she hears deeper squeaks. Squeak, squeak. Now I'm trying to see. Can I do an Amber voice but deeper? I don't think I could do that.
I want to hear Coco do a lolly voice. Like, if Caramel can do it, you can do it.
No, I can't. I tried.
Coco, are you
Yeah.
enjoying the fun anime girl chat now?
Sure, 10 out of 10.
I'll be your big sister, Ara.
Well, we got 4 viewers now, which I'm pretty sure is just everybody here in Amber. So it's a big crowd for a Friday night. Keep at it.
Ara Tsuyu-san.
Correct, yes.
What do you say? Ara Turi-san?
By Moffat, it's a
Turi-san,
pity we
because
don't
I'm
have
not.
the time to explore this
Wait.
place more thoroughly.
Ara
Just
Tsuyu-san,
imagine how
are you
much
having a
history
good
is hidden
night?
in each one of these stones.
Sí. ¿Cómo está?
Maybe we can come back here one day. once we've
¿Cómo estás?
stopped the cleansing.
Bien. María, ¿dónde está en el baño?
I only know one line of Spanish.
Está un fiesta en mi pantalones.
¿Por qué?
Why'd you have a fucking part?
No me gusta.
I know one thing of French and I know one
No,
line of
not at
Spanish.
all. But who knows?
Yeah, the one line of Spanish I know is incorrect. María, ¿dónde está en el baño? Is María, where is in the bathroom? So I'm not saying it properly.
It sounds like you are.
No, as long as it sounds like I am. Anybody that doesn't speak Spanish thinks I speak Spanish.
I also know one line of Dutch. That is okay.
Oh.
I technically know like 3 lines of Dutch, but I know one thing of Dutch, one thing of Spanish, and one thing of French. That's it.
Yeah, the Dutch is like I am bread or something, right?
Yeah, because basically a sleep-deprived version of me was learning Dutch. Got very entertained by the word bread, And the only other line I knew at the time was "I am a
By
woman."
the righteous
So,
path. That's not good at all.
so it was
Come
"I
on,
am
we
bred."
have to follow
Learned
him.
it, kept it ingrained in my brain, and now I randomly say it, and it causes Cranky just to look up and look alert. Because it's sudden.
See, wait, what is it? Tu pares frances? Francese? I have no idea what Amber's trying to say.
I think it's like, do you speak French? I'm not sure. I failed Spanish, and the French people scared me in school, so.
So maybe the ancient
That's
starlings don't exist after all?
Let's not jump to conclusions, shall we? Somebody must have built this place, and somehow the maps which led us
Don't you
here
love it when you start drawing ahead with like no regard of like what you're gonna do with the rest of the body?
Whoever was capable of creating something like this
Yeah.
must also have known.
Also,
This is-
I've tried to teach Coco how to say.
Yeah, I am bred and like I can't say it right. Can you say it? Say, how do you pronounce it?
Ik brood.
Okay, you kind of cut out there. Ik den brood.
Ik ben brood.
Ik ben brood.
Just hold on. Let me
So
draw a piece of bread.
it's like icky, so like ik,
Ik
and then Ben, like Big Ben,
ben
and then road, but with a B in front, so brood.
brood. Ik ben brood.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I kept rolling the R. Ik den brood. That's what I was saying, but it's ik den brood.
The God King is so wise.
I think it's because like I don't speak Spanish, but I tend to like roll my letters like if I do speak Spanish. So I think that's what gives me trouble when I pronounce a lot of words. Even my last name, which I'm not going to say on stream.
We almost had him, boys.
Yeah, I'll say in a voice chat off a stream, but not on stream.
I know your first name, Coco.
Yeah, I think I accidentally, Celia accidentally said it on stream Saturday, I think.
Oh no, like you told me when we first met because I asked you.
Oh right, can't remember if I told you the truth or not though.
You did.
Hi. My name's Pepper, and I have a white girl. Fits me.
Hi, I was named by stoners.
Yeah, yeah, I got Pepper's name because I needed her PayPal to give her money for an art commission.
I literally went, I don't care. I trust you enough. You can know my name.
We should inspect this place.
I really like my new pencil, by the way.
And I have no
You
idea.
have to admit, very.
What is Amber doing in chat?
The only question is
Probably drugs.
No, I think that's Russian.
Again, probably drugs.
But Coco can confirm. I have a very white girl name.
Yes.
This place
It lacks a lot of melon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is very white.
I
It
don't
suits me.
have melanin.
we split up.
Okay, Amber says that's I am bred in Russian.
I love you, amateur. Thank you. If I knew how to pronounce that, I would work on it. But
Part of the city. And you
The eyes are too small for the face.
If anyone
I gotta
finds
stop using this
anything,
eraser on the
call
back.
The rest of the group before doing anything else. Now off you go.
That was not great. Ow.
Oh man, all his life he has worked for this, and now it turns out he'd been chasing ghosts all along. Let's just hope the architect
We
of this
love it
place
when the
didn't
only
take their knowledge
eraser you've
with
got
them
is
to
a
the grave,
kneaded
or
eraser.
wherever they are now.
Is a what eraser?
This is going to be interesting.
A kneaded eraser.
And I can't
Oh.
complain about the company. Come on, you go ahead. I'll be right behind you. We really found it.
I want to hear your best Dora impression, Pepper.
What,
feel
Dora?
like you
As in
would-
Dora the Explorer?
Isn't Dora the Explorer?
Muy bien. Can you tell me where the flashlight is?
fuck. What if
I heard flip and I was not gonna think you were. I am Coco. Words.
Can you please, can you please tell me where my fuck? You don't see them. Oh no! It seems like I don't have any fucks to give.
maybe it leads to the main tower too.
I cannot.
Let us go get
I
the
don't
others.
watch door enough.
Oh, that's too lovely. Oh,
Good. That looks
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
like what we needed. Anything we should know about the
I don't know, Dora
Enderal
the Explorer now
June?
reminds me of, I don't know if you guys been keeping up with comics at all. There's this new comic series called The Eternals coming out. Not The Eternals,
yes, I want you to join VC and say I am bred in Russian.
Sakarish and I will go inside.
Sorry, Coco.
Yeah, Amber, jump in, let's hear it.
I got
You
excited.
stay and guard the ship.
Yeah, there's like, well,
Returned.
there's this new character that they're trying to bring out,
12 hours.
who's pretty much, like,
Back to Ark.
when I heard about her powers and I saw, like, her art, she just seemed like an older, overweight Dora the Explorer.
Okay.
Because her power is she has a backpack that she could just pull out random stuff.
Mary Poppins.
No, I think her name was a Trailblazer. That's what it was. And it's like, and I'm looking, I was like, wait, does she have like a monkey sidekick? Because that's all she's missing now to be just a grown-up, overweight Dora the Explorer.
Okay, here is I am bred in Russian. It's Yakheb. Or Kheb.
Wait. Head? Yahed?
Yakheb.
Yahed.
Red.
Sure.
Yahed.
Amber, I love you.
Alright, this reminds me of the time I was in voice chat with this one girl. She was in Germany, and we watched this YouTube video where it was just like Americans tried to pronounce German words, and she tried to get me in on it. And the entire, it's just like a half an hour of her laughing at me mispronounce German words because I just can't do that throat thing. Because most German words you need to
I
go.
can do it now, but I can't roll my R's.
I can't move my lips
I
anymore.
had to learn because I learned how to flutter tongue for band.
What time is it? Okay, tomorrow, like, we are going to move back to Satisfactory soon, but probably not tomorrow. We have plans to do Skyrim tomorrow. Not Skyrim, Sea of Thieves.
Better go back
Coco
to my
also
home.
owes me a stream.
I hope I have educated you all.
Well, thank you very much, Amber. And
Amber, that was beautiful.
And I mentioned this. Well, I think I'm gonna end the stream now. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be Sea of Thieves. And anybody here, like, if you guys play Sea of Thieves at all, eventually, when they let us get public servers, I am going to get a public server. Since I currently have 2 Ark servers and one of them isn't working, so I'm just gonna switch it to Sea of Thieves. Speaking of, sorry, Pepper, if you've been playing on the Ark server, but I think it got wiped.
That's fine.
Yeah, it just kind of, their servers crashed on their side. Nothing I could do about it.
When's the Smash Bros stream, Coco?
I'm not opposed to doing a Smash Brothers stream. Aside from you, anybody else here interested in doing Smash Brothers?
Pepper, do you have a Switch?
No.
Pretty sure I'm the only one that has a Switch. Sore might.
Well, like I said, tomorrow's gonna be Sea of Thieves. Eventually, we're gonna move back to Satisfactory because there's new, a whole bunch of new updates. So one of these Saturdays, I have no problem doing Smash Brothers. I'll announce it like days in advance. So does anybody in the crew could jump in?
I'm gonna need to train my Byleth to beat you, Coco.
All right, well, you know, you just got to get up on my level. That's what you got to do. Pepper, I really hope you show up for Sunday for Jim Jar. He needs somebody to take control, and I'm just tired of controlling so many NPCs. Speaking of Tree, remind me before Sunday, I need to send out DMs to several of the D&D players to try to prep them for what's going to happen when we first get into the game Sunday.
Hey Coco, DM several of the players.
Yeah, remind me again, that's not today.
I will.
Okay, thank you. So, ladies, I very much appreciate you showing up, keeping me company.
We love you, God King.
Yeah, and thank you, Pepper, for putting up with me for that entire like first half an hour where my OBS just was not working.
No, I came here to ramble and talk.
And
I just happened to stay for the rest.
Well, thank you for keeping me company. And why is my character not wearing armor? Well, I'll fix
He took it
that.
off for the sex and then clearly never put it back on.
I guess he's
That
probably
armor
still thinking he's
looks
going to have
great.
sex time.
Some.
So, yeah, I'm going to end the stream on that note. You all have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, God King.